What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Beck Easy.
Hi, everybody. It's your girl, Johan.
Hey, y'all. Hey, it's Danny.
Hey, guys. It's Trell, and this is...
The Team! And we are here for episode 64. We are super excited. I say that every time, actually. We're super excited to be here.
I am, though.
I haven't
This
is going to be fun.
talked in a while.
Right. It's been a little
That's
minute.
true.
We
That's
haven't
true.
been on the episodes like that
Yeah.
in a little while. So we're excited.
Mm-hmm.
We want you guys to meet our wonderful guests to my right. Who are you?
I am Jessica.
Hello, everyone. Mommy to be Jess times
For the
two.
second time.
yes.
Right. And who do we have to our left?
I'm Taylor, everyone. Should I introduce myself?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Let them know who you be.
So I'm Taylor, last name Morrison, and I am a doula, labor and postpartum, but with my program, we studied all avenues or all aspects of doulaship. So I have trained in deaf doulaship, all the way up to abortion, bereavement. There's several avenues in that one set of categories. So yeah, it was a
You
long
lit.
program, but worth it. Yep.
Yeah.
Nice. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, no one
I seen
knows.
Death Doula for the first time on the internet today. I'm like,
That is a thing.
I gotta go back and check that out.
And then there's an in-depth program for it. So like later in the episode, we'll go into it. But yeah, I've trained in various things. So and I love it. My program was through Earth Naturals Touch Doula Care, birth care and beyond. Sorry about that. Sorry.
Nice.
That's what's up.
Well,
We
thank
need
you
more
for
of you.
Oh, no.
Yes, and thank you because we're gonna really educate people about doulas, and it's
Beautiful.
becoming more of a thing in our culture, which I'm super happy about.
We need it.
So yeah, it's exciting. Thank you guys for coming.
Yes.
So we have an icebreaker. Trell, you want to do it? First of all,
Sure.
they got us in the studio with these dumbass hats on.
These hats is
Celebrating
popping.
the mommies.
Let's go, mommies.
The
Y'all
baby
gonna see the
shower, the
pictures.
baby shower hats
Celebrating
that
the mommies.
that everybody makes during the baby shower. I'm gonna keep it on for a little bit, but
It's
I'm definitely
tradition.
gonna take it off. It is.
Right,
So.
yeah.
Cheese,
white people
cheers
do
to-
that?
I don't think so.
so.
No.
But they don't have baby showers like how we do.
Right.
They have, like,
Ours
little
is a
gatherings.
party. It's not a baby
Right,
shower.
it's a party.
It is. It's a whole event.
It's a party.
Money.
White folk, it be at their house.
It's a little
Right.
picnic
In the
yeah,
backyard.
with like
A little
20
right.
people.
That's because they be buying all their stuff on their own.
Yes,
That's
right.
true.
So they just have a couple
They're like, we
friends
don't, right,
for a
just
little
come and
picnic.
celebrate.
For some tea and
That's true.
crumpets.
Yep.
This is true. That's very, very
Way
true.
more intimate.
Right.
I like it like that. Second time, at least.
Exactly.
If there is one, which there won't be.
Well, we don't know.
If there won't be.
Niggas is shady. We like, well,
Unless the Lord says otherwise, whatever.
whatever the
Unless
Lord
the-
said.
right.
Whatever the Lord
Let
says.
thy will be done.
Exactly. But I do have icebreaker for you guys. So would you rather baby shower edition, okay?
Okay.
So first question. Would you rather have heartburn or hemorrhoids for 9 months?
Ooh.
See, I don't know what either one of
You
them
know
feel
what?
like.
I don't know what hemorrhoids feel like, but I know they're painful, so I think I'll take heartburn.
Yeah,
Same.
heartburn.
Yeah.
Heartburn.
But
yeah.
the way my heartburn been set up these months, it's like I be feeling like I'm about to die. As a matter of fact, Jess is the one that told me to drink pure aloe.
Yes.
Yes.
Like the liquid pure aloe.
Saved my life.
Bruh, I love it. I took a shot of it it's like I gotta take a shot of it like twice a day.
You do?
But yeah, the heartburn is crazy. But yeah, probably heartburn over
Well,
hemorrhoids.
that's a tip for you mommies out there.
Yeah.
Heartburn.
And it's at Walmart too. It's
Pure
mad
aloe vera
cheap. It's like
juice.
$4 for like the gallon.
I didn't have heartburn.
Bruh.
This one is
What
mad
does it feel
gross.
like heartburn. I've never had it before.
It's like kinda
Nigga,
like,
it's like
like you
flames
would have,
in your
like, acid
esophagus.
reflux, but it's just like mad
She's
hot.
like,
And it
Still
makes
don't
you
know.
like
I don't really
really
get heartburn
nauseous
much.
too. So it's just
Oh,
like,
no.
yeah, I'm done.
And it make you not want to eat. Like I've been on eggshells. Like I'm like, I don't know
nervous?
if I should eat that. Yeah, because it's just
You
take
don't know
one
what's gonna
thing
trigger
to
it.
just,
mad anxiety. Be like, no, I'm not gonna eat that again.
Y'all make me
right.
scared. Y'all make me
Because like
scared
milk
for
wasn't
pregnancy.
working, the Tums wasn't working, ice cream, none of that. And then Jess
the
was like, yo,
aloe.
my nigga, get you some aloe. I'm like, yo, I got some in the refrigerator, as a matter of fact. And
You always got to come back
junk
to
was so
nature.
lit.
I'm
What's up?
telling
I
you.
never heard that. Right.
Thanks to my mama. She gave me
out
that
to the
advice.
mamas.
yes.
Right.
So number 2. This one is a little gross.
Okay.
I just lost it. Hold on. Oh, would you rather eat your child's chewed food or drink their backwash?
Oh God.
Drink their-
Neither.
Drink
Eat their
what?
chewed up food or drink their backwash.
What?
I might drink the backwash.
I might eat the chewed up food.
I'm
I'm gonna eat the chewed up food too.
Not
Because
the
it's
back.
still
Backwash
food.
is just like
It's soggy.
Just seeing it floating in the
right.
food, makes you know a juice. Nah.
And you
Yeah,
figure,
with the slobber all in the chewed up.
but you once your kid starts to eat like table food, you end up chewing it up for them a little bit anyway.
Okay.
So I feel like it's kind of like
your
the
chewed up.
I'm gonna listen to the mamas.
right
Listen to the
Yeah,
mamas
but you
on
chew
that
it up
one.
with the teeth, not the whole like.
the whole thing. I know, but if I had to choose,
Yeah, it would definitely be.
That's
chewed up food.
wicked.
Okay, I'm gonna go with y'all.
I used to
Imagine like a little spit just circling around, and I ain't drinking that.
or little bits of food in the juice.
Right.
I used to backwash when I was a little, and I used to be like, now drink some juice, and I was like, no. Yeah, probably the chewed up food.
all right. Last one. Would you rather be pregnant in winter and have to put on socks and shoes, or pregnant in summer, hot and big as a house, but able to slide on flip flops?
That's a lot.
Pregnant in the winter.
Pregnant in the
When I was
winter
pregnant in
and
the
struggle
winter.
to get on your
I
shoes,
No, yeah.
or be hot and bothered, but you could just easily slip
You
on
can
your
wear
flip flops.
slippers.
Hot and
All
bothered.
I
I'd
did was
rather
wear
be pregnant in the
Uggs.
winter.
Well, I don't like the winter, so I'm gonna say summer. I'm
Same.
not a winter gal.
Same.
I probably do hot and bother because the slide on game is just so perfect. Like yesterday when we was out and about, I had to put them heels on. I'm like, this is a damn struggle. Like,
Right.
let me just put these slides on.
Them Ugg slippers save your life. Put
I
some
always
socks on and
said
slip
I
'em
wanted to be
on.
pregnant in the summer just for sundresses.
Just for
and flip-flops,
sundresses. I said
but
the
it
same
ain't work
thing.
out.
Listen.
It ain't
I said
right.
the same
But I just
thing.
wore leggings and Uggs.
Period.
Yeah, I loved it. I'm loving the summer vibes.
I can't do
And
it.
it's so
so
funny
easy
because
to
I'm
throw in a
always
dress.
hella hot, but being pregnant, I haven't been that
cooler.
hot.
Yes.
Yeah, you do.
A ways to go.
It'd be like
Because
that.
honestly, if you're gonna be hot, you're gonna be hot regardless. Because I remember
Right.
I was pregnant through most of the winter, and I remember not wearing no coat because I still was hot.
Right.
So I might as well be pregnant in the summer.
Yeah, I
the
think my
sundress.
coat was just
Well,
it
the
was
way
open probably because I
this
couldn't zip it up.
COVID is set up. You better wear a coat because
I
you
know.
catch a cold, niggas gonna think you have COVID.
COVID.
know.
Period.
You know
This is
how to
very
wear a
true.
coat, but this year I'm gonna be bumped.
Still
I
not
know,
wearing
right?
a
Because
coat.
I don't even got
COVID
Not
and
playing.
flu season
Right.
and just sick
It's just
season.
bad. Yeah, this year.
Yeah.
gotta
I'm
wear
gonna
a
be
coat.
bundled up.
Guess I gotta wear a hat too.
Yep.
Yep.
I'm gonna have everything on, and
All
you
the
know,
above.
I'm gonna be in the crib, so
That
Same.
Too. That too.
Right. I was like,
Same. So that was
Chilling.
it for hot tops.
hot
I mean,
time.
For icebreaker.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's up. Before we go, how was everybody's weekends? I didn't ask that.
I had a pretty chill.
good.
Yeah.
Good. How was your weekend?
I mean, I'm not really doing much because since COVID started, I was working with Tarte Cosmetics. I don't know if you guys ever heard of the brand, but yeah, since COVID, since February, I've been laid off. So I've been home working. I'm actually in a yoga program right now. So
Nice. So you about to be a
yeah,
yoga
'cause
instructor too?
I want to be for prenatal. I want to focus on
that's
prenatal
so
work.
dope.
Yeah,
I
so
like that.
I'm in that program right now. So I just been doing that and been home and chilling.
into your
That's
resume.
what's up.
That's right.
Black girl magic.
Okay.
Yes. yo, yes.
Snap it
To
up.
your crown.
You gotta give me deets on that yoga program.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm almost done. I'll be certified, I believe, by September 4th.
Oh yeah,
That's soon.
tomorrow.
Early
It
congrats.
was 200.
Oh, that's not bad.
That's not bad at all.
That's
Quick,
not bad.
yeah, and I'll actually give you guys information because the program I did it through is actually online.
Oh,
and the
perfect.
woman that owns it, a black woman named Ashley Thomas, I believe her last name, she did the certification that way, like you do it through Zoom. And it was awesome through the whole entire COVID. She had sections or like cohorts,
nice.
very inexpensive, and I was like, oh my god, yes, it's a black,
Yeah,
Perfect.
right.
yoga
right, right.
program.
I know.
And
I
she's
would've-
still taking people, so yeah, I'll give you the
That's
information.
what's up. I always wanted to be a yogi.
It's cool. It's harder than what people think, but also it's not
Is that-
because yoga. You can do yoga in a chair. You can do it in your bed before you go to bed. So.
Right.
That's lit.
That's what's
How about
up.
you, Jess?
Let's see. Sometimes I have to think about it.
No, literally. That's every time we record.
It was pretty chilled, besides my son wanting to go outside in the heat. And I'm just like, I don't want to be in the sun right now.
Right. But you did
But,
it anyway.
Mommy things.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
That was about it.
That's good. We had a good weekend. We went to Miss Thelma's on Saturday and celebrated our Pattern family bro, Latif, for his birthday. So that was a really good vibe.
Yes, I enjoyed that.
Yeah, it was. It was a nice.
It was
little
nice.
vibe.
It
Mild.
was. It was. The DJ was cool too.
Just what I needed. And I'm
Right,
right
a
back in the
little
house.
Yeah. And then I went to a birthday party celebration, 50th birthday party after that. So I had a lit day
I was
this
about to
weekend.
say, yeah, you had a
and I'm
busy-
going somewhere else later.
Oh, busy weekend.
Busy, honey.
And it wasn't like this at one point. I'm gonna go back to where
right.
real COVID times.
Right.
That's
Keep
what I
my
said.
behind
Like
in
this
the
the weekend I had the most stuff going on because It hasn't really been that way. Friday, I went to a happy hour with my homie Devin. Back in the house. Brunch
It's like one
Saturday,
thing
back
and
in the
then go
house.
back in the house.
I've been doing that since like December, honestly. Like going out, do like one thing early and still being back in the house at a reasonable time. And I like it like that.
Right.
Yeah.
It's definitely a vibe. How about you, Joe?
I don't ever remember what I do. I really don't. I know work is in there,
Yeah.
and that's about it.
You're a busy lady.
That's about it.
You're a busy lady.
Don't feel bad.
You need to be, it sounds like you need to be a little more present in what you're
and
doing.
what she does.
So you can
right.
actually remember.
Oh, and before we start the drop that line, I do have some pins. So everybody take a
We
pin.
playing a game.
And you cannot
Baby
say
shower.
the word baby
Oh God.
on the entire episode.
Of course, I said it.
My drop that line.
That's why I waited until after you were done with the what you call it.
Oh, courtesy. Come on.
I had fun yesterday. I had a full
Oh
day.
yeah, you
Yeah, you had a full day
Danny
yesterday.
took 2 hops.
I went to Thelma's with y'all, and then I went to one of my classmates, Sean. His baby shower turned engagement party.
Yay! Congratulations.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah, it was lit. You know, class of 2007.
She said baby. Give me a pin.
Oh.
I just realized it.
You just said it too.
How we not gonna
I had to say it.
No, you didn't.
Right, how you not gonna
Give
say
me
it?
it back.
That's the challenging part. How are we not gonna say the B word while we're talking about the B word?
I guess
Can
you
we
could say
say B-word?
infant.
Gotta get creative.
Child.
Infant
I
fetus.
can say baby now.
Remember that vocabulary
Child.
that you got?
That extends.
Yep.
Embryo, fetus.
Joy.
We got the words. But yeah, and then after that, I went to my little cousin's 5th birthday party.
Oh, you were busy.
Oh, yeah,
Right.
he was
I really stopped by.
I'm about to say,
okay.
you went there
Ro-
faded?
drive-by.
No, I went to go pick up my child,
Oh, okay.
Okay.
and then I left.
That's different. Yeah.
I
That's
was like, I
different.
don't want to go around a bunch of kids. So I let my aunt take her.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, I'll come by later and get her.
Yep. So yeah, it sounds like it was a nice little weekend for everyone.
Yeah. Weather's been nice. Can't complain.
Love to hear it.
So Joe,
what's
do you have
that.
a line for us?
I do. Okay. So let me see if I can.
Joe be having the sneakiest fucking look.
Like, why are you looking at me
And
like
with a
that?
mask on, it's even worse.
like we supposed to know what the fuck she's talking about.
Danny really is like my twin flame. She always be knowing, but she's never at the table to say it.
Yeah.
You better hope I get it. You give me
Right,
give
I
me these
know.
flowers
Putting
too
that
soon.
pressure.
That's gonna be an embarrassment. Okay. I touched my belly overwhelmed by what I had chosen.
Lauren Hill.
Yeah.
I love it.
Zion.
Yeah. Zion.
Yeah.
Zion.
Finally.
Period.
Finally, y'all didn't even let me finish.
Right.
We
I
ain't
know,
have to.
right?
That
That's
was
the
a good
first. That's the
Don't
first.
toast to that, because y'all mother suckers be feeling this
Especially after last week when nobody got it.
Yo,
at all.
that's
Danny knew it.
Besides Danny.
That's
Start
funny.
hollering out on the side.
No, that's amazing. It is an amazing song.
Yeah.
I love that.
It made you want to be a
Lauren.
mother. Look, that came on like
it
98.
makes you want to be a mother at 9.
Not these days.
Right.
I was listening to it. I was like, oh, bee fever.
Yo,
What's
that's
the name
so
of
cute.
it?
Zion.
To Zion.
Zion.
Miss
I'm gonna have to
Education
listen
Lauren
to
Hill.
it.
Yes.
Anything, Lauren Hill.
Of my
Y'all better give us a note.
We just be breaking this song every
On
once
this
in a
Sunday.
while.
Keep the same energy when we go do the verses, okay?
Oh yeah. Oh
Facts.
listen.
Wait,
too.
when is that coming on? With Monica and Brandy.
Next Monday.
Ooh, it's good. I'm excited.
Yes.
I cannot wait.
Any hot topics?
Yeah, so you know our girl Meg the Stallion. She
Yeah.
finally let us know who shot you.
What we already knew.
Who shot you?
Let us know what
So
we
who
already
shot
knew.
her? She finally let us know who shot her.
Thank goodness.
And it
Yeah.
was Troy.
Thank goodness.
Tory?
Tory.
Tory.
This
Oh.
nigga said
It
Troy.
was Troy.
Just
I mean, the wine getting to
I know
it.
it didn't sound right because I'm like, That's why they say Lanes. Tory Lanez.
Yeah.
And you know, she's been having some positive feedback. Like all the guys are saying, "Oh, you're whack for that." But previous to that, you know, everyone was clowning the situation,
Which I
not
couldn't
really being
believe.
protective. And you know how Malcolm X said, "Black women is the most unprotected, the most hated women," and we kind of seen it in this predicament.
Absolutely.
The most
I know I
neglected.
saw something that said we should have the same energy with Megan Thee Stallion as we do someone. With Nick
6.
Cannon,
Oh,
how
okay.
we're praying for him and his mental
Period.
health.
Period.
We should have the same
Energy.
reaction with Black women.
Oh yeah.
Because I feel like every time something happened, even when it first happened, it was like, oh, well, what did she do to make him shoot her?
Right.
Or she must have hit him, or they must have been fighting in the car, and that's the reason why he shot her.
Right.
Then it got so bad to the point where she had to prove herself. So she she posted a picture of her
gunshot
foot
wound.
because people were saying, "Oh, you
I
wasn't
didn't
shot because
see
you still
it.
going out." Da 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 da. She was like, "Nigga, I got shot. I just got my stitches out 2 weeks ago. Like I'm out celebrating my number one song. Like let me have that."
In
Y'all
her
niggas-
life.
right? She was
And
like,
she's
"Why
like,
y'all lie?"
y'all want me to be home miserable? and
Miserable,
sad?
yeah.
Like,
But I love that she was basically pushing forward, not being miserable or depressed in the moment. She
Right.
was just, listen, I'm going to continue on and live my life.
And the girl still found a
But
problem.
it bothers
with
me
that.
because people think she's like somehow exempt from emotion. Girl, we
Right.
don't know what she's felt in her lonesome.
Exactly.
We don't know what she's going through right now. She could be, happy and celebrating on camera, but what
Right.
is she doing in her, her free time or her
Right.
lonesome?
And that's the thing.
Yeah.
She doesn't have her parents.
And she
don't have
already
her
broke
grandmother.
down on camera about
When
did.
she
that.
did the first
Yeah.
one, it's like you can hear the pain in her voice because she don't got nobody for real.
She
Like
said she never
to lean on.
Yeah, she never really grieved her mother like she was supposed to. So she just needed time to like just, do her. And then it's like, okay, boom, I'm feeling better. WAP comes out. The shit is a banger.
Ooh, banger.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So now she's starting to feel good. And then here go
wow.
pound.
Right.
He's just going to shoot her back down. So
Right.
she posted a picture of her being shot. And then I
didn't
guess
see that.
Tory's people were lying or whatever. I seen she tweeted was like, yo, you keep lying, like I'm not gonna spare you no more. And then that's when she went on and said it was him. Said the reason why she didn't say nothing to the cops because once again,
Black
well,
woman
why didn't you?
protected. Yep.
Yeah, why didn't you say nothing when it happened? Why'd you wait until all this time to say that it was him? She's like, yo, my nigga. Black men are getting shot in the street every day.
Every day.
You want me to tell a cop that it's a gun in the car that
Right.
you had
Right.
and you shot me? Like,
Is it
no,
an
I'm not gonna
active
do that.
investigation?
It's still an active
Oh, it
investigation.
is?
I thought, like,
But she wasn't
when
saying
something's
nothing.
going on, you're not really supposed to talk about it.
And I think because he's only getting charged, he's only got in charge for having the
Having a
weapon
gun.
because nobody was saying who shot her.
So you think
That's true.
that it's gonna go there? Is she
I
supposed
think
to
it
press
might.
charges now?
I
Because
think
like,
it might.
is it that kind of weird?
But
They-
just
she
like
probably-
domestic violence,
Right.
Once the victim doesn't press charges, the
state
state
can't pick it
attorney
up.
automatically
can.
picks up the case
Yeah,
and
that's what I
press
was gonna
charges
say.
on their own.
That's
Well,
true.
So
he
I
deserves
haven't
it.
heard
Yeah.
the state attorney said, "Well, we're
Yeah.
gonna press charges," but just like they said that if it was a white woman,
Oh,
she
ASAP.
wouldn't have had to say anything.
Right.
They
It would just be automatically
assumed
right.
Yeah.
and just kept it moving.
and they
Right.
said there's a video.
She got out the car
in
leaking.
the helicopter. I guess there was a helicopter.
Yeah.
over
I
them
seen. Yeah, I saw that.
covering.
He was
And she's
laid
like,
out-
why would I
she was
lie?
laid on the
out
ground.
and
Yeah.
everything.
She was like, why would I
Wow.
pay for a helicopter
I
to
couldn't
be
even see that.
hovering over us, videotaping
That's
any of
right.
this stuff? Like, why
Right.
would I lie? But then it's people out here saying that she a snitch.
Like what? Like
And even the OGs were saying,
I
nah, she's
can't.
a civilian and she did.
Yeah, she does.
exactly
right? It don't
It'd
count.
be different if she was in that life,
Right.
maybe, but she's not in that life, so you
That's
can't apply
some
the
hood
same
shit.
code to her.
Right.
Period.
That's what they were
She's
saying.
a
Like it
woman.
don't apply to civilians. It don't apply to women and children. Like that's some gang shit. Like,
Right. Like, y'all sound dumb as fuck.
Right.
Like, and y'all still
And
listening
then
to
she didn't. It's not
69.
even like she just automatically was like, I'm snitching.
Right.
She didn't. She
waited
said
mad
nothing,
long.
and that wasn't
Yeah.
enough for y'all. Now she
Right.
letting y'all know what y'all want to know.
Right.
Still not enough.
Right.
Because mind you, she wouldn't have had Tory and his people's not like
Said
came
anything.
for her.
Right.
She probably
She
would have
would-
never
yeah.
said
What were
nothing.
they
She
saying?
probably just took it on the chin, and
Nah,
that's unfortunate.
I
That
guess-
shit was gonna
I
get
guess
handled
they were saying,
other than
like,
Right.
I don't know what I didn't really see.
I didn't see
people.
nothing, but
The way,
But they were saying he was lying. Just
the way like she's saying stuff, it sounds like maybe they were saying like she did something to him.
right, which everyone.
provoked
That's what
him.
I heard. I
Which
heard
they
that
always
she.
do.
Right.
Even if
We're
that was the
women.
case,
We always
She was like,
you
I
can
didn't
walk
do nothing.
away.
Right.
What
Right.
What did she
Right.
say that made you that mad?
That you gotta
She
shoot
wanted
her?
a gun.
She called him a
Let me drink
munchkin.
from that one.
And it's like, yeah, you
Right.
shot at her feet, but that still could cause damage. She still could die. Like,
still could've bled out.
anything
Bled
could
out.
happen.
Right. There's.
and clearly she
Anything
was
could happen.
leaving for you to shoot her.
And that's what she
shoot in her
said.
foot.
She was like,
Yeah.
I'm leaving. Like I was already leaving.
It was at the front of her foot.
So she was removing herself from
From
the
the situation. Yep.
and that should have been it.
right.
Exactly.
Just
But
like that
that-
movie.
but
What's
that
that
wasn't
movie when
enough.
the guy broke into the house and then the robber was leaving and he shot the robber in the back? He ended up going to jail.
I don't know.
But it's
yeah.
a movie like that. But if the person is fleeing
You supposed to just leave it be.
You still
you're gonna get in trouble.
Trayvon Martin, but it didn't go that way.
That's only for civilians because clearly it don't apply to police officers.
Right.
That's another conversation.
That's a whole nother
conversation
conversation.
for another time.
Black men.
Yeah.
Right, it doesn't apply to black men.
So we praying for her.
Yes,
we give her our
always.
support. It was a lot of celebrities like Chance the Rapper, Michael B. Jordan,
I love
Halle
it.
Berry, those type of people. They were giving her.
Yeah.
So I appreciate it.
T.I.'s was kind of whack though. I was like T.I. like he pick and chooses when he wants to be serious
Have
about
that
stuff,
energy,
and
right.
that the way he approached that situation, that wasn't a joke for him to be like, "How you gonna shoot?" Yeah, it was like you're corny. Come on,
Yeah.
I don't
didn't
really
see
want to
it. I
hear
didn't see it
nothing
either.
from T.I.
It was a video.
It was a live. He was like, "That's what we do now. We shooting girls."
Yeah, it was like he was
was
making a
jokingly.
mockery of it.
So are we
almost.
Are we still listening to Tory?
Oh,
I
no,
don't
I
listen
mean,
to him like that
listening to
anyway.
I never really listened to him, but he's canceled for me
No,
because
listen. So quarantine, like I never
Quarantine
was
radio?
I was never really a fan, but quarantine radio really
Put you on.
did make me a fan. That I listened to one song.
See,
But
for
it's
me-
nothing for me to like never listen to you again
Right.
because I was never really a fan.
Right.
Yeah.
For me, I just recently became not even a fan. I just
But just
recently started
listening.
listening to him more
Yeah.
often when he dropped Chick Steep.
yeah,
Like,
Yeah, I
that's
didn't even
literally
know
the
nothing
only.
about none of
will
that.
That's literally
say
the only
that
album
was-
I listened to.
the music is good
Right.
though. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah,
Like,
I
he
had-
separated from the situation. The
He's
music
on
is
some
good.
songs that
Yeah.
I like.
Well,
Which is unfortunate.
Yeah, they said JoJo took him off of.
I like that.
Oh
song.
wow.
I think
Come
it was
Back or
called.
something.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
she
like
not.
that song.
People not
So did,
playing.
Kaylani too took him
and
off.
I respect it.
Me
Stand
too.
Yes,
I
yeah.
do too.
Girls.
Because the fact of the matter is, we're the only ones that's doing it. So if that's what
Stand
it
by your
takes,
girls.
And just like Ron said on the episode, he was like, "We created R. Kelly."
yeah.
He was like, "We still was listening to him, and he's still getting paid after the fact. So either we gonna make an example or we not." So we're
Right.
praying for her. Hope
Praying
that
for her.
We
you know
still
she gets through
we
this.
still letting Fab live.
And
Man.
Chris.
Oh, that's a woo,
Chris.
girl.
But a lot of people on the internet was saying, because people were trying to compare, but it was like, you really can't even, because Chris did what he
Wow.
did, but he came and made a public apology and has since,
He took
did what he
owner-
needed to.
he took
took ownership.
accountability. Yeah, he took
So a lot of people were saying you
accountability.
can't even compare because
That's true.
the other person is apparently making it seem like he had a reason or
Right.
she did something for him to pull out a gun and shoot him.
I was just
Even
telling my
still.
mother he need to
Even
go
still.
on fix. What is it? Ayan.
Yeah.
He need to go up on near. They need to go up
She
on
was
near.
straighten him out.
Yeah.
All the way.
Wear him
Love
out.
And she'll bang on the table. Not today.
You're not gonna shoot.
right.
Rise up against me.
That's stupid.
Rise
funny.
up against me.
That's dumb. Any more?
So our next topic is
Kamala. Biden, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she accepted the nomination for VP.
Yeah.
Like she's born to two immigrant parents, and now she is the first African American woman to be nominated as vice president.
I love to
She's
see
an
it.
immigrant. I am like she's opposite of the American dream.
Yeah, because she's Jamaican and Asian.
Yep, she's
right.
Yeah,
basically
she's
Coolie.
Indian, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's coolie in
Yeah.
the Jamaican term.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love to see it. I mean, she has a
And
shot,
she's an AKA.
a shoddy, right?
Right now.
She has a shoddy
9.
pass, but I'm anxious to see like what they do. Long as we like a lot of people are saying, let them in office.
Right.
It's up to us to hold them accountable
Right.
and make sure they're doing what they say they're gonna
Right.
do.
Right.
Right.
That's really it. Because I mean, if you want to look at them two versus Trump, come on.
And Pence.
I know. And people think that them not voting is gonna help. That's actually
It helps
making
nothing.
it worse.
Right.
Yeah, I keep seeing people saying that, and I'm just like, y'all
I
just retarded.
I'm not a
but
fan of hers, but I guess I got a job to do.
right.
Right. And that's honestly what it boils down to.
It
Right.
does.
I
It
remember
really
listening to
does.
the radio a while back, and they were talking about something. And I remember a guy was calling in. They call in and say if you're gonna vote or not. He's like, I'm not gonna vote. I never voted because I don't think it matters because they're gonna just go with the they're not gonna go with the popular vote. They're gonna go with the electoral.
I heard
College.
that on
Which I
Breakfast Club.
get, but my thing is how can you say my vote doesn't count?
Because you might
Because
live in a
if-
state.
All 6 of us vote for this one person, and only 3 vote for the other one.
Right.
There's our winner.
Absolutely.
If all 6 of us here and say, well, my vote don't count, so I'm not gonna vote. Even
Then
if
3
with
of
his
them
2
niggas still
votes,
voting.
Right.
he gonna win. It's like better safe than sorry.
Right.
Right.
honestly.
And that person, that caller, might live in a state where the electoral vote really matters.
Exactly.
And holds weight.
Right.
Exactly.
I'm not going to say whether I'm a fan of hers or not, but I'm still proud and I'm still going to vote the way I'm going to vote.
Right.
However, what I would like to see in his cabinet, because he has to fill up his cabinet.
More.
I was talking to my psychiatrist about this. I really would like him to give Bernie a position in his cabinet. Now, Joe, you got the position. You did one thing right. You got a woman in there. A black woman,
because he wasn't getting it
right.
Right.
So you can,
that
so
boosted
she
him.
gonna check you,
right?
Whether
That
you want to
boosted
hear
that
or not, she gonna check you. She gonna keep you in line.
And that's
whatever.
the thing. We need that. We need a
Right.
woman. We've been saying it for so long. We need a woman to come in here and
Clean up.
Check shit.
together.
So
Women are gonna save
but
the USA.
I really want you to have Bernie somewhere in there because he's been fighting a long time.
Yeah.
And I think he would be a
I wish he
great.
won.
I honestly wanted him to
person.
be
Me
president.
too.
Yeah,
I know, but
definitely should make use of him
Right.
somehow. Yeah.
I think he really needs to be in. Don't make him Secretary of State because that job I think is more aging
Demanding,
and more demanding and stressful than being the president.
Right. We don't want him to die. Is that
Right, because you have to work with every nation, and
Right.
working with one nation and all of us is
And
a
all the
problem.
drama we got, right?
Yeah, I
don't
wouldn't
give
put
him-
him in there.
Don't
Yeah.
give him that position, but definitely give him a position that he would be useful because I would love to see it.
And Bernie was saying that he was helping when he finally dropped out.
Right.
He was helping him like, listen, this is what you need to do.
Right.
This is what you need to say. This
He
is
probably the one that told him go get a black woman.
Right.
Probably.
I would love
mean,
to see the unity. Like, get Uncle Bernie in there. Just let him fulfill his purpose. Because I think
Right.
this is definitely, he's been fighting a long time.
Yeah.
And I
long
think
time.
this is definitely
he had been
his
about
purpose.
that action.
right? And I hope he continuously, because I'm pretty sure he has.
Yeah.
But I hope he continuously. What word do I want to use? Like but seeks advice
Right.
from our real president, Obama.
Right.
He probably will.
I feel like he probably
yeah.
does already.
He
but
probably
I just
is.
hope
He like, help me,
I
my
feel like
nigga.
he does already.
Help me.
But without saying it,
Right,
but
in those words.
I just hope he continually seeks advice from him, like, because I think we know he's not going to get back into it, but
Yeah.
it could be a great
He
resource.
definitely is going to be
for
a
him.
great advisor.
Yeah, I think he'll be.
Advisor
That's
to him.
He probably does like look up to him. I think so.
yeah.
That's
He
a
should.
nigga.
He
Like,
should.
they had
Michelle too.
a beautiful bromance.
Yeah.
They had an amazing relationship. Him, Michelle, and him and Jill had a
Good chemistry.
Yeah.
That was just like my uncle.
So I'm
Joe.
hoping we could kind of see some of that.
Yeah.
Because the thing about it was, like, Michelle is no dummy. Like, she got degrees. She's smart.
And Jill, no,
And
She's
the
a
only
whole
one.
doctor. Exactly. So I think that's what made it so great because it was
Yep.
like both the first lady and the
Of
VP.
some substance.
They
Yeah.
had right.
Right, and she was determined to like do something for real, and not just be
And the
first
pretty
lady
chilling.
on the side.
Right.
You know?
Picking China.
And not wanting to hold your husband's hand.
Michelle
Oh
is
my
still
God, that
active.
last
so
video I
much.
seen-
She's very active.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This
very
world.
active, and she
Yeah.
like fought for that.
She is. Yep.
So yeah.
So we'd love to
We'll
see
see.
it. So
I
just
do.
get Uncle Bernie in the White House, and we'll be good to
In
go.
some
Listen,
capacity.
everybody pray
Yes.
Yes.
and vote.
Pray hard.
Definitely.
Really, all we can do right
Because
now.
we can't do another 4 years
That's
of this.
all we can do is pray and vote.
Honestly,
We
it's
already
a hot
crippled.
mess.
Yeah, it's a
Hot
mess.
Well,
Lord
I have
willing.
you tried
too.
it
Let us hear it,
of the
sis.
week, and it goes to Master P. I was
Oh, yeah, I
trying
just
to
heard
like
about that.
dig as far.
that.
I was trying to dig as to why he made his 7-minute long video, and I
Right.
really couldn't. But I guess, all right. So boom. A few days ago, C Murda had put on his Instagram, like, he was basically thanking Monica.
Okay.
He contacted Monica like 7 months ago, and they were talking, and Monica got him connected with Kim, and they basically trying to help him get out of jail. So Master P has this like 7-minute long video, and he's just like, he's frustrated with his brother because you praising all these other people, like we haven't held you down or been trying to get you out for the last 18
Wow.
years.
Okay.
He's like, my grandmother not here no more. Like, that's my angel. I haven't heard you talk about our grandmother and God knows how long, but out of nowhere, Kim is saying that she your angel is weird to me. I mean,
So
I
he's hurt.
appreciate her efforts
He's
or
hurt.
whatever. Yeah, he's like, I
hurt.
appreciate her efforts or whatever, but you know what I'm saying? Da-da-da-da. You saying that our family hasn't done nothing for you. Like, I'm an ATM. I'm not going to be an ATM no more.
Oh, really?
I'm not going to go visit. So for people to be rubbing me up and this, that, and the
Jeez.
third, da-da-da-da. And Monica
Oh,
just got divorced last year.
Yeah, he went in. He went in.
Bro. So he posts that video, right? So then Monica writes like, yo, you've been disrespecting me. Like, let's just keep it at him trying to get out. And she was like, and I've been around. She was like, and I've been around. She was like, check the books when he was at such and such and when he was at such and such or whatever. She was like, he ain't never had not contacted me and not got what he needed. He was as a matter of fact,
my brother.
Yeah, he was as a matter of fact, asked his daughters because she just like was showing off for his daughter's clothing line. There's a few pictures that he posted. So she's cool with his daughters and everything like that. So she writes that. So then he writes another post and he basically is like, I don't know you and I ain't trying to get to know you. I wasn't being disrespectful. This is a family thing. This, that, and the third, blah, 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 blah.
Cause nigga, you don't know her.
How you don't know her, but you know my business?
You tell all my business though.
You don't know me, but you know that I've been married twice in 18 years, which is not
she's
bad.
Only been married once.
Right. And
Which is
we just got
fine.
divorced and da-da-da. Like, if you want to keep it family, but you didn't have to mention Kim and you ain't have to mention Monica.
Right.
And at the
Exactly.
end of the day, if it's about him getting out and these are extra people to assist
priority.
with that, who gives a fuck?
Right.
Like, that's your brother. Of course you're going to hold your brother down.
Right.
You don't need accolades to say, oh, shout out to Master P
shouldn't.
for helping his brother. Yeah, so it sounds like he's just mad because he's not getting recognized.
Yeah, I'm about to say that kind of narcissistic.
Did you see this
attitude.
morning one of the family members?
Aired him.
Yeah,
out.
it's like
Scared
still
of
going.
going.
What?
Who
It's like still going.
It
What
was
they
like-
say?
It was a niece. It was like, oh, you wasn't here for Big Mama. You didn't pick out her.
Oh Jesus!
The house was condemned.
Said they
Oh,
was
and
selling
you let-
socks.
you let
They was selling
granddaddy-
socks and stuff.
You let granddaddy live in a burnt
up
house
house.
on one side. You never came down here. Grandma died poor with us.
And you know what?
Interesting.
I believe
It's
it.
a
He
lot.
should have just sat there and ate his food.
Right.
I believe it too.
I believe it
I don't
because-
see Master P as somebody that's like, let me make sure all my family is straight. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't.
I would. You would.
You would
way
think,
he's so
but the
much
way
about,
he
right.
is
Yeah.
very
People,
like. Because I seen him do an interview on the Breakfast Club and just was basically talking down on like the new generation, like, oh well, y'all need to do this, like, you know what I'm saying, instead of actually being a guide to those people. So he kind of like,
But that's the weird thing. Like, he's been a guide to certain people, and he's been about his standards and what he believes in. Like, they had this show, Growing Up with Hip Hop.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know,
with his son on it, right?
Left the show because Romeo was like, y'all not going to play with my faith and da-da-da. And his father was like, okay, son, you said we're not going to do it. We're not going to do it no more. So he seems like he's, you know,
Very
all about
family oriented.
Maybe his
Right.
immediate family.
But his
maybe?
immediate. I was gonna say his
Right.
immediate.
Son.
Yeah.
Right.
I think I always say either you do it with love or for love.
Right.
You do
Period.
it with love, you don't need nobody to pat you on your
None.
back. You don't need to say
Never.
thank you because I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go.
Right.
Never.
But if you do it for love, you want all that in return.
Yeah.
You want acknowledgement.
Right.
You want to reap all the benefits of
Right.
that. And
Right.
And that's
it's
what
the
it
mind
sounds
frame.
like.
It definitely sounds like that. And she was like, I haven't spoken to you on, I've been speaking to Silk. Because even in the video, he was like, Silk might be scared to tell C, or all my other film might be tell C, but I'm going to say it. You got Instagram in there. I hope you see this.
Silk a brother?
And it just was like, what?
Oh, Silk the
Silk the
Shocker
Shocker.
is the brother? Okay.
And it's just like, what? Like, why you got to be like that? If you have the resources to help your brother, why not help your brother? And if you're going to do it, why are you throwing it in my face?
Yeah, like
Right.
it doesn't
Yeah.
matter. That's your blood.
I
Yeah.
did
Yeah, it's
see
weird.
that he was like, "Oh, I saw your Instagram. I didn't even know you had an Instagram." And
Okay.
I was like,
Clearly, they not getting along right,
Right.
"No," but I was like, "I feel you on that because that has Monica written all over it." Because he
Let me
was
make you a
like-
page.
He was like, "It don't even sound like you were saying this stuff," and I was like, "Yep," because I know how Monica talk, and that definitely was her writing some of those posts. But I digress.
Like I was saying yesterday, though, sometimes you need the public
Right.
to know what's going on, to
Right.
get involved. So yeah, he gonna have to make an Instagram page so
Right.
they can get
So they can understand, yeah.
to make
Awareness.
it public,
Yeah.
to make it public knowledge and get people really moving and doing what they gotta do.
And shake-
on your case. Yeah,
By
that's
any
true.
means
Like the publicity is
We in a different
needed,
day,
honestly.
Yeah.
Right.
Need it.
And I think everybody's talking about it now because of the documentary that was on BET
Yes.
about,
I'm gonna have to check it out.
No
No
Limit
Limit.
Soldiers
that was a
documentary.
good timing for her.
Right.
For her to come out and for him to come out and get the Instagram page and
And that's what
for
Monica
her to
said.
say-
She was like, yo, I've been helping him and
purpose.
trying to get him out. She was, I just didn't feel like I needed to post it.
And
like,
that's the
right.
goal.
And
It
you don't
shouldn't
have
be
to.
about anything
else, exactly.
Right.
it's
That's
just the goal. And that's what she said. Let's just keep the goal at trying to get him
come
out.
home.
Yeah.
But now you got a mystery woman talking about
I
since
saw
she's been
that.
involved, and I'm like, all right, let's
There's always a
I seen that. She was like, Monica,
She said, Monica who? Yeah.
Oh,
Did y'all see it? She got pictures with him.
She
you
said I
know.
moved 5 minutes away from the jail, so I'm really the any nigga.
Yeah. comments alone was
She's
hilarious.
one of them girls that he be selling a dream over the phone.
Right.
When I get
Yeah.
out, we're gonna do X, Y, and Z.
I'm like,
I'm gonna marry
Now
you.
she
blah,
riding
blah, blah.
the hardest.
This
She
is
had
not
pictures posted up. I was like,
Please.
these is Photoshop, aren't
This
they?
is not a real nigga contest.
Right.
But that was the premise of Master P. Like, how she your ride or die, and she just got divorced.
Right.
7
Like,
months ago.
yeah.
Like,
So
which
the
that
girl-
makes no sense.
Right.
'cause
So this girl
Yeah,
must
wait,
be
what?
the person that he
They
was
in a
talking to when Monica was married. So now that Monica not married no more, they could converse now. So he trying to put the other
He's
girl
like,
to the
come
side.
on, Momo. You know how we used to do.
Mosey, because I saw him call Mosey. I was like,
I'm done. But yeah, Master P, you tried it. If you want to keep families, keep family stuff family. Keep it
focus
off.
on the bigger picture.
freak, true.
You big
Right.
man.
Right.
Period. So,
Right.
Trell, you rooting for anybody this week?
I am. So recently, this past Tuesday, we had an art installation go up downtown at City Hall.
Yes, it was
Some
so
window
nice.
art is called Black Kid Joy. And the artist just so happens to be the son of our last guest,
Yep.
Earl, aka 40B.
Yep.
His son, Isaac Bloodworth, he collaborated with the town to get this project going. I guess it was like a competition between multiple people, but he is the
beautiful.
one that won or whatever. I'm sorry.
I'm like, you good, my
Push
nigga?
that mic, sis.
Whoa, Kobe. That sounded real Kobe.
I just swallowed the wrong way.
That's what she said.
Pause.
She about to have one of these hats soon.
Yeah, so it was a part of a contest, and it came. So we mentioned Adrian Jefferson. Cut it out.
I gotta grow up.
Grow up, children.
For real. Y'all have heard us mention Adrian Jefferson. She's the
Yes.
director of cultural affairs in the city, and she, along with some other
Boss.
people, back in June when all of like the Black Lives Matter marches were going on, they wanted to kind of like basically keep it going.
Right.
And so they had the contest, and he won, and he did it, and it's cute. Have you guys seen it?
I seen it.
I haven't
yeah.
seen it.
It's
I
like
haven't seen it
waves. And
Is
it's
it
like in
inside?
windows.
It's on the window. So it's City Hall. So like by Bank of America is literally if
All
you
the
on
windows
Chap-
when you
what's
walk
that,
down.
Church Street.
Oh, wow.
It's on the windows going all the way down. It's
I'll
like
have to
pink.
see.
You can't miss it honestly if you
I'll
over
definitely
there.
go down
drive
there.
by
I
and
mean,
see it.
I haven't.
Definitely.
And I just was over there. I didn't even bother to look. But I'm pretty sure from the pictures that I've seen that you won't be able to like miss it.
Mhm.
If you ride.
It's
by.
like in the windows.
Nice.
Window
Yeah.
display.
Beautiful.
So Isaac is saying that he wants to see like a mural committee in the city for large scale public art projects that
We
includes
need it.
murals honoring Black Lives Matter movement.
Yes.
Which I think is super dope, and for
That's
that
dope.
reason, I'm voting for him. I'm rooting for him.
Yes.
And we love
Let him be
anything
the
black.
Let him be the one.
We love anything black.
Let him head
He
that
can
committee.
head that
Right.
committee.
He should.
And listen, if he collab with Adrian, it'll happen.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
That'll
So
be dope.
it'll probably stay up for about at least a month.
Nice.
But hopefully it's something that they do ongoing. And
Yeah.
like I had read an article and there was like a white guy that had walked by and was like, I really love to see this. We need this. So it's getting a lot of positive feedback.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
shout out to Isaac Bloodworth. Check it out. It's called Black Kid Joy.
Black
We'll have to
Kid
get the
Joy.
pictures and post them too.
Called
So
Black
our out of
Kid
state.
Joy, yeah. He was the winner out of
listeners can
14
watch.
people who
Oh,
had
wow.
art. Yeah.
That's
Beautiful.
a good look.
Check
That's
that out.
a good
It's
look.
downtown New Haven, right on City Hall building.
Nice. I
right.
respect it. I love the arts, and Adrian has been pushing like black artists and just creatives. Like you wasn't seeing that like that until she got into her role for like the city of New Haven. So
Right,
that's definitely a vibe.
Yeah, because I had seen her post it on her stories, and then like a day or so later, Eric was like, "Oh, this is the son that," because he had mentioned him a couple times in the Earl. he had mentioned him a couple times in the episode. He was like, "Oh, this is the kid that I was speaking so highly of, or whatever." I'm like, "That's what's up.
That's
Small
what's
world."
up, definitely. So kudos to him.
Yeah.
We love to see it.
Absolutely. We
Black
got a
excellence.
QTNA. We're just gonna get straight into
I
the
got a
episode.
QTNA.
Okay.
I think it kind of will go right into this episode.
Cool.
So, how do you guys feel about the statement? Be careful who you get pregnant by. Personally,
No, real.
I hate
real
that statement.
Okay. But I
Personally.
think real talk.
Personally, I hate that statement because people change every day.
They do.
And I think it's really it's rude, for lack of a better word, to tell somebody that they need to choose better when this person could have been This person
nigga
could have been like
spitting
the
on the mic.
greatest person
Right.
prior to me getting pregnant, and
This
now
is
he's
true.
a total asshole.
That's
We
true.
know this happens all the time.
That's a layered
that's
statement, though. I will say I think
Yeah.
it's true, but that's a layered statement
I
because
agree.
there is like people that's
Yeah.
like,
That
let's
show
have
you
a
from the
family,
beginning.
and then the next day, oh girl, bye, I got a new girlfriend. I don't care
Yeah.
about you or that kid. So I get it, but it's layers to that because we have to take people for what they are too.
Yes.
And I think a lot of people. Especially younger, like maybe in my age bracket, our age bracket in
How old are you?
general, they just, I'm 25.
Oh, you young.
Yeah.
girl.
I said, oh, girl. You,
Like, y'all like 20, we like the aunties.
Right,
you feel like
30 plus.
mid-30s.
Y'all look so young. Right. Black girl joy. We just never age. But no, but I was saying a lot of people, especially like I always see it in my group of friends because no one's with their kids' mother or father anymore. They usually move on. A lot of people choose just to almost kind of solidify the relationship or just try to hold on to it, even though they know you're getting all the red flags, you're getting all the tell signs that you need to leave. But people are like, nah, we're going to hold on to it. And they bring a kid in and then it's like,
Which is why
Disaster.
I hate that statement. I think people should mind their business.
layers.
It's layers, and you
It is
never
layers.
know
Yep.
what
You know,
happened.
I feel like with my son's dad, you know, like of course it's like you know what you're getting into when you're dealing with that person or whatever, but I've seen our relationship like flourish over the years.
Beautiful.
Like there's been like some ups and downs with us, but now where we are, especially his dad is in the army. So it's like his dad is like a totally different person. Like their relationship, it's always been good, but it's like even now, it's like they just got so much love for each other. So it's like, you know,
Beautiful.
that statement, be careful who you have kids by. I mean, yeah, whatever, but you just never know the development process
Exactly.
of
Right.
people.
Of people.
Exactly.
Because that same person that you're putting down could actually be the best dad or mom.
that happened.
That's exactly what I was
And
going to
to
say.
add to that, you're absolutely right. Like my son's father is in jail, and I've never heard that like statement personally, and that, it still bothers me, even though it hasn't been said to me personally. But people could look at me and say, "Oh, Shoe's better
Right.
because he's in jail." So you're making the assumption that he's a bad father, or that
Right.
he was a bad person in general, and that's not the
Church
case at all.
boy. For
That's
real.
not, he did some shit he shouldn't have did, but he didn't do the shit they said he
could be
did.
a
But
growth
Right.
You know what I
process.
mean?
He's not what he did.
Right.
He's not what he
True.
did.
Right.
I say
and-
the same thing.
And even though they're in jail, like surprisingly, they still have a great relationship as
Awesome.
best as they can. So I
Perfect.
just think people need a nice mindy business.
I'm telling you, I think it's all growth. I
Yeah.
really do.
Always.
Because especially depending on when you actually had that child. Like I was 23.
Yes.
Me and Alex dad,
Exactly.
we were both 23.
that's-
So me,
that's
once
true.
I had Alex, I had to grow up fast. Like his father was looking
Both
at me
of y'all.
like I was crazy. He was just like, yo, what's wrong with you and stuff? It's like I have a child.
Right.
I have to grow up. I have to take care of this kid.
Right.
He took a little bit longer.
Right, right.
But it's like, you know, he's where he needs to be right now
And
for
that's all
our
that
son.
matters.
Exactly.
And that's what that matters. And that's
So
the
it's like
thing,
you just
too.
shut your mouth.
Yeah. What you was about to say, Diddy?
I say the same thing because I'm like, me and my child's father, we're not together. And just because we're not lovers anymore, we may not have been great lovers. We're still good friends, and he's a good dad.
Right.
And
That's
that's all that matters.
Period.
That's all that matters.
For the
So
sake of the child,
when they say
okay?
that, do they mean like he's an ain't shit ass dad, or just because y'all not together?
Right.
Like,
Or
don't
like
know.
he outside of being a dad, he might be ain't shit, but at the end of the day, that ain't got shit to do with me. As long
Exactly.
as he's a good father to my child, then
yeah.
that's all that
Even if
matters.
he ain't a good father, I feel like it still shouldn't be. It's not a reflection on
On the mom.
the mom,
Right.
because, like I said, people change all the time, and he could have been. How
Showing
many
you
times do you see
one
people
side.
be together? People get married and then get divorced after
true.
years,
Yes.
because people just change.
It's
Yes.
true. That's very true.
Like I hate that statement so bad.
And people should just mind their business.
And people just like
you.
it.
Honestly, because you don't know what's going
don't
on,
know what's
right?
going on.
Exactly. So yeah, that was a good question.
Yeah.
Good question. So we're gonna get right into our topic. So Taylor, we want you
Yes.
to explain to us what a doula is, what services you provide. You spoke about it a little bit earlier
Yeah.
in the episode,
For sure, yeah.
And just let the people know what's up,
Educate
because
us.
a lot of people don't know what a doula is.
Right.
I feel like it's still new.
Yeah, it's very,
definitely.
very new.
It's like the new craze now
Yes.
to have a doula, which is like no shade, because we need to get back to that.
Yeah.
Because this is something that goes back way, like our ancestors during slavery. We had doulas, we just didn't call them doulas.
Right.
But a doula, just in layman's terms, because that's just the coined term for it. It's just a support person during birth. So this doesn't replace your partner, your spouse, your mother, your sister, because I know sometimes families get that misconstrued. They're like, what you need a doula for? I'm that person for you. Right. But it's actually a different role, and it's just an added hand. I like to tell families, I'm just an extra hand for you guys, because sometimes, birth is, you guys been through it. Some of you, some of you going into it, I'm nervous. It's hard, and it's hard on everyone's. Like, spouses need a break. Partners need a break, moms need a break, like everyone made. Yeah, you need multiple hands on deck in birth. But yeah, it's just a support person. They provide support, pain management. That's the biggest thing a doula is gonna do through your labor is the pain management part. So we come with various techniques to help you manage your pain without medical intervention. Wow. But it's your choice. It's always your choice, and it's an unbiased person. So you always have, your family's biased when it comes to birth. They're going to want to, mom's going to be like, do it this way because this is the way I did it. Or it's just too many ears. And sometimes you need that unbiased, non-judgmental person in the room that's like, so what do you want to choose?
Right. Yeah.
Because that's what a doula is. We're an advocate for you, but we advocate for you to advocate for yourself.
Right.
So, yeah.
Because it's hard to when you sit in your in labor pains and all these people talking to you. Yeah.
So your doula just gives you the look like what we talk about. Right. Not what everybody else
regulating the room. Regulating
one-on-one reaction.
Absolutely. Yep.
So how did you decide that you wanted to be a doula?
So years back, I think maybe like 5 years ago, one of my really good friends, she got pregnant, and the relationship where the father wasn't that great, which was fine because I was like, girl, I got you anyway. So like, we're gonna get through this. So she ended up giving birth. I went to the hospital literally when she was like, I'm in labor. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna come there. I'll wait it all out with you. Nice. So I did. And then the cassette, days after, I stayed with her every day in the hospital just because everyone had jobs. People were like, we can't, we gotta go to work. We can't be here all day. So I was like, oh girl, I'm off. So I'll be here all week with you. And I just love being around babies. So I was like, I'll be here. And I was helping her out. And I didn't realize I was like her doula low key.
Yeah, right.
But it wasn't until a few weeks later I had seen, I don't know if you guys ever seen this post. Erykah Badu had posted one of her clients rapping like in the tub.
Wow.
She had did a video. I don't know who her client had wrote a rhyme, and she was in the tub. She recorded, and I was like, oh, so I was a doula, like she is to her. So Erykah Badu kind of introduced it to me. So that's how I came about it. And I was like, oh, I love to help people in general. So I was just like, this is definitely something I want to do. But I went through so many programs. I just was like, these don't feel authentic. It's just every doula program you find, it's either a 3-day, 4-day training.
What?
Let's talk about it. You cannot learn. Well, what I learned, you cannot learn that in 3 days. It's too much. It's too layered. You need to know
make
a lot.
sense.
Yeah, that don't even
sound right.
And it'd be 8 hours each day. So you're I'm dead by the time I learn anything.
Right.
So, but yeah, most of the doula programs are that way. And I had found one, and I was just like, girl, you're just gonna have to do it. Whatever. But then I don't know how I came across my instructor online. I had seen her page, and I was like, oh, let me follow her. She's a doula. Cool. Maybe she could give me some recommendations. And I found out she was running her own program, but that one was 14 months long. Nice. And I was like, I kind of do want to be engulfed in something that's really, really deep into the subject. And I was like, ooh, it was a brutal program, but it was worth it because it's a program only for Black women. So she only
we need more.
Right. She only accepts Black women, and that's no discrimination or shade to any other race, but this is exclusively for Black women. It's a space for us because it's not just a program. I always tell people this, I'm going to sound like a broken record, but it was a sisterhood. And that was probably one of the best experiences of my life. I almost cry when I talk about it because I was around so many powerful and it was amazing.
That's awesome.
It was amazing. So I have great friends now, sisters for life from that program.
That's dope. That's definitely dope.
What does your doula package?
So I'm still developing my doula business. I take clients through her. So she is like a whole business in itself.
That's
and whoever didn't want to start their business right away can take clients through her. So my clients she lets you sit underneath her until you're ready. Yeah. And she'll help you build your business. She's not like that. So I take clients through her, and I'm only doing labor and postpartum. I haven't since COVID started, but before that, labor and postpartum. So I'm there for the labor, and then I'm there after for four
Is she in New Haven?
visits. Yeah, no, she's in Bridgeport, but there are some. I think there's about like 4 of us in New Haven that train maybe
That's
under
what's
her.
up.
But yeah, it's awesome. And there's a lot of other doulas that haven't trained with her in New Haven that I'm just now finding out about. So it's a lot. Yep. It's some
That's
black
what's
women out
up.
here. Yeah, it's a
Yeah, I
lot.
see somebody posted and
It's a lot of
they were
black
like,
women.
yeah, my girl is a doula. I'm like, oh wow, like I didn't even know.
Like a
Yeah, I only know of one. One doula.
Yeah.
That's she's black, but I only know of one.
Yeah, they're out here. They're out here. And I think it's because a lot of them too are older women, like 40s and up. And a lot of people, they're just not people that, are on social media just yet and just don't know how to navigate that space.
Right.
So yeah, there's a lot of us.
Might be nice to have that genuine auntie vibe.
Oh, it is though.
Rubbing your back.
Right.
But that's why the
Especially, like,
program
if you
was
don't
so
have, like, a
amazing
mom.
because I had so many mother figures, and I had to tell my mother that, and I was like, "This is no shade to you, Mom, because I love you. You're always gonna be my mother." But I had so many other mother figures that I needed because I always tell people this. Like I said, it wasn't just a program; it was also like a healing circle. So we had to deal with certain parts of ourselves in order to bring our best selves to this work.
Oh,
Because
that's very good.
you can't be you can't be judgmental being a doula. It's not gonna work because you're gonna see so many people from different walks of life, and it's not gonna work. So you have to be in there unbiased, just ready to serve people.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Wow.
And it's spiritual.
It does. It
Yes.
sounds so calming.
Yeah.
it is because that's what we're supposed to
calm
be
sitting
for you.
here.
And if you're,
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And-
I wouldn't like say my experience was chaotic, but I always say that like if I were to have another child, that I would like a home birth, but I definitely would absolutely like to have a doula.
beautiful,
Yeah.
yeah.
Home water birth.
Right. And I wanted to ask you, what are some tips that you can give moms to be on how to make birthing as easy and as calm as possible? Because I know it's probably crazy. Well, I was there, because I was there
give us
for
some coping
for both my
mechanisms.
niece and nephew when they were born.
Right.
It wasn't crazy. No, it wasn't crazy, but I'm thinking in my mind, I'm like, I want my affirmations to be playing in the background.
Oh, period.
With my,
Girl.
my
already
calming
said I'm
music.
good at Erykah Badu.
I can't complain at all.
Yeah,
That's
me
beautiful
either.
though. And
Me
it
either.
doesn't have to be crazy. I think that's the United States just be bringing me
Right.
there because they center birth like they make birth so complicated when it doesn't have to be. And and don't get me wrong, because there are some women at risk and they do, they are complicated situations and they're going to be stuff that arise, but it doesn't have to be. If you're not at risk and you're able to, go into different options like home birthing, you don't have to do it in a tub, but you can try to look into those routes because you don't have to be in a hospital. I think that's the thing. People don't know they have options because we have centered birth around like you got a condition basically. So like if you're pregnant, you gotta go to the hospital, you got a condition, we don't know what to do with you. But like it really doesn't have to be because our ancestors that were slaves, they were giving births in them houses on the plantation.
Little hut.
And they're like their
No
sister,
pain, no.
right? Their sister was delivering the baby. There was no midwife, there was no doctor, there was no nothing. It was your sis in the next house coming over to help you.
And even in like Jamaica and stuff like that, it's like
That's common.
yeah.
In other countries, that's common. Giving birth, that's all they do. They're like hospital. What you need to go to the hospital for? But don't get me wrong, because there are women that do need to be in the hospital for birth.
That's true.
So I don't want to misconstrue that. But yeah, I always tell women look into different options. You don't have to be in the hospital if you don't want to, especially if you're anxious. I tell people if you're nervous, if you're fearful, it's almost best that you try to birth at home and you look into that because it's your space. You already know it. You don't need to feel like, oh my God, what's gonna happen next? I hear a beep. I hear something. I hear someone screaming down the hallway.
Absolutely.
It's your home. You can create your own feng shui, your own environment. So
That's the next go around.
That just made me laugh because I just remember being in labor and hearing somebody down the hall screaming, and I'm just like, what's that?
but you see how frantic, because women giving birth, you don't need to be frantic. You need to be as calm as possible.
I didn't want my grandmother there, God
Thank
rest her soul.
goodness.
I'm glad she was there. Now that we had that experience,
Right.
but because she makes me like
anxious. Yeah.
I did, so I had
And that's
my
why dudes are
mom, my
important.
grandmother, and my daughter's father, and it was. I'm like, I just wanted calm.
Yeah.
Right.
And it was dark.
And you said it was
quiet.
beautiful,
it was,
right?
It was fine. I had ended up having to have a C-section.
Okay.
But it was calm. Everything. I had good pain management. I was like,
Beautiful.
hey, yeah. Shout out to y'all.
Right.
And I think now it's so difficult because like now we got COVID. So back in the day, you were able to have 3 people in the room with you. Now they barely let you get the one. When COVID first started, they wasn't letting nobody.
But
so it was so
hopefully-
many
was
people that were
pissing
pregnant going to labor by themselves, which was crazy.
You can't. Yeah,
That's awful.
that's terrible.
crazy.
I will never want anyone in under any circumstance.
be
But
by
in that
themselves.
moment, I'm like, yo, forget COVID. Her spouse, their partner needs to be in the room.
At the very least,
Regardless.
like, we together.
My thing is somebody.
My thing with that is like we're together regardless. So why can't I be here?
We live
We're gonna go home together.
She catch you, I'm gonna have it anyway.
Right.
But even doctor's appointments, like I have to go by myself. Same with you, right?
Yeah, by myself.
And it
By
hurts.
yourself. You got to wear this dumbass mask. They call you before your appointment and ask you if
The
you
day of.
traveled. You get into the building, they ask you if you traveled. You get into the room, they ask you if you traveled. I'm like, listen, like when I get a call, I'm like
Like, where am I
FYI, for my
going?
appointment tomorrow, I ain't traveling nowhere. Like, that's it.
All right. Let me just get it out the way.
Yeah. So how has it been being a doula within the COVID realm?
So I haven't taken any clients since COVID started. I have friends that haven't been telling me their experience. They just have recently though. Like I think women have just started taking clients in the last month or so because they were very worried. Hospitals weren't letting people in. So it was kind of like pointless for us to kind of be, unless you were doing it virtually, which a lot of women do. But I wasn't taking any, but from other experiences I've heard, you do have to wear masks, like, the standard procedures. Try to social distance if you can, but they know that you've been around this person, so they're like kind of cool. But they said it's been pretty decently fine. Like they haven't come into any issues. People, just respect. It's just a mutual respect for doctors, for nurses, for any of the medical personnel, because they deal with this on on an everyday basis. But yeah, I'm just now opening to taking clients. Like people are contacting me, but it isn't for births like till November, December, January.
That's good.
So yeah.
So you come on board at the last.
Yeah, because I was conflicted. A lot of people were like, "Well, take them virtually." Like I told you earlier, I was conflicted with that because I was like, "Well, what can I really do for a mom virtually?" And that was just a turtle question I was asking myself. I was just like, "Well, what can I really do for them that's virtual?" And I was like, I could give them the education prior to them going into the labor, because that's a thing, you can do that. But I was just like, the doula experience, you need to be there. You need, like, you have to have your doula next to you to really get the experience,
Right.
So right now I'm maybe open into like helping dads become more of like maybe that doula role, or like if people are
when they're
nervous
in the room, they know.
yeah, like they'll get all of our techniques, all of the advice, and like they'll play that doula role. So yeah, I'm open into that. Yeah, doula dad.
Girl,
There's men that are doulas.
You gotta add that.
Nice. There's men that are doulas. Not in the United States, but I've actually read up on a man that is a doula for women specifically that don't have a spouse or partner. So I was like,
I love that.
That is a
I
thing.
love that.
That is a thing.
I love that.
and so
That's
yeah.
dope.
So
like that a lot.
I have a question, because I see that it's been said that Black women aren't really being represented in hospital rooms. Like our concerns, our voices are not being heard. Have you witnessed any of that or experienced that? Like you had a Black woman as your patient and her voice wasn't being heard, concerns weren't being taken into consideration.
Or in any of you that already have a kid, did you have to raise
or
your
did
voice
you guys
and be like, look,
Let's hear your guys' experience. If anyone else first, I'll go last.
I didn't have any problems. I was trying to thug it out for as long as I can without any like an epidural or anything. But no, when I was ready for it, they gave it to me. That was the worst part of my experience, was getting that epidural.
Okay. Anybody?
What about
Look
you,
here,
Jess?
I love that epidural. I was requesting it in the elevator. Matter of fact, in the ambulance. I was in panic mode. Like that pain, like that killed me bad.
My nigga.
But so like your water broke at home?
Girl, no. I went downstairs. My labor was just comical in itself, because like I got downstairs to my mother, and that's when the pain ripped. And like I went down to the ground, I'm crying. My mother's like, "Don't get on the ground." I'm like, "Well,
Yo, I had the same exact moment with my mother. I was on the floor. My mother's like, "Get off the floor," and I'm like, "I can't."
Yo, my mother, like, she worked at Southern, so we live like 5 minutes away from Southern. And she sat me at the computer table, and then she was like, "Look, sit here. I'm just count the minutes, all of that. I'm gonna call you when I get to the job." And she called me right away. And it's like, she came back home. Her and the ambulance pulled up at the same time.
Oh, wow.
But like once I got there, it's like I feel like everything was smooth sailing for me. I don't feel like I had a bad experience.
Right.
I think the one thing I wish I didn't do was have them bring in a student nurse.
Oh, because they were
They were like, "Do you want a student? Is it okay?"
Yeah.
And I was just like, "Sure." And I don't know why I'd be agreeing to stuff like that, but I was just like, "Yeah, sure." So I'm sure he got a site full, but my experience was fine. I mean, I feel like everything was perfect for me.
I had to get induced.
Yeah, I don't have, as far as like having to advocate for myself or like any issues with like staff or anything. I didn't have any of those problems. I got induced.
That is.
I got induced
I
as
couldn't even
well.
feel the epidural. I was in that much pain.
Wow.
They were like, "Oh, you're gonna feel some pressure," and I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah, and honestly,
feel
like
nothing.
that was really the only thing in my experience as well. Like my epidural. So I had a student doctor do my epidural. I would change because she didn't do well.
Poking me 1,000
I was out of it, but apparently she was like shaking when she was doing it, like she was nervous.
I think I had an Indian woman do mine.
But I got it done, but it wasn't done
As
well.
effective.
It's like I kept having to do this, and I ended up having a C-section too. So you know how they like poke you to see if you numb.
Yeah.
They had to poke me like 5 times before I actually did not feel it. But other than that, yeah, my experience was pretty good.
How old is Alex?
Alex is 8.
Kenny is 4.
AJ is 14.
I feel like these newer nurses are just getting out of school, are very rushy because I work in healthcare. So I've seen a mixture of really great staff and not so great staff. So I think that the climate is, and now it's COVID, so everybody's just very like
jittery,
on edge and stuff like that. So
And
I
some
just
people
have
just
to,
don't have good bedside manner.
Yeah, or just,
Period.
you have people that are
Compassion.
live in the valley, never been around people before,
Right.
And you got somebody who's on drugs that's having a baby, and you don't know how to, like you said, you got to be unbiased,
Right.
And so I think that's what it is. Is like these newer age, like I said, with COVID, I have to just make sure that the people that I will have in the room know what it is that I want. So then that way, if I can't speak for myself, like you said,
Yeah.
That's why
Honestly,
the
it
birth
can go
plan
hard
is
for me.
important.
Yeah.
You got to write your
birth
birth plan
Yeah.
out.
I had a
Tell
birth
people.
plan. Ask me if I put that into place.
I didn't.
I don't recall. I don't recall.
I didn't.
But I know I had
Did
it.
I know what a birth plan was? I probably, knocked up the movie. Like I probably watched that 1,000,000 times. And
I did because
what's the other movie?
What to expect when you're expecting?
Yes, I watched that one 1,000,000 times.
I remember
too.
you saying that.
So
I like that
that's
movie.
that's the only time I heard of a birth plan, but I never wrote out a birth plan. What does that consist of?
You should. I always tell women, especially obviously it's not going to go word,
Yeah, right.
play by play your birth plan, but it's a good guide because it always brings you back to what you said. Because a lot of people with birth, you get lost in it. You like, what's going on? I'm in pain. I can't do all this. But if you write out a birth plan, your doula could be like, okay, this is what you said. You remember what you said? You wrote this down.
right.
So
This is
It's
what
like
you
a will.
wanted.
It's like a will.
Act right.
But no, they just remind you if you have a birth plan, people will consistently remind you, okay, this is what she wants. I'm telling
'Cause you
she
be like,
wrote
out
this
of
down.
it.
She's not coherent right now, but she wrote this down, and we're gonna honor what she wants. Unless it's at risk for
like
you.
a will.
Yeah, I mean,
It's like an advance directive.
or
so.
power of attorney. Yeah,
right? Because we want. That's the only thing you want to honor the wishes of the mom first and foremost, but of the couple too. Like, what
Yeah.
are their wishes? So that helps your doula or your support people.
The only thing I
write
wanted
it.
was just a calm environment. Like I didn't want, because I have anxiety and I didn't want to be anxious trying to give
'Cause
birth
that
to my kid
affects
because
your
I didn't
body.
want her to be anxious either. I'm like, I don't want her to give birth to no
Right.
anxious environment. We're gonna be calm and quiet up in here.
Right. And it's
Right.
hard for you to progress in labor if you're anxious.
Exactly.
You need to be, that's why I was like, you need to be as calm as possible. That's
See, and
why
I have anxiety. Bad,
Yes.
So I'm just like, man, look, how we gonna do this?
Listen, we gotta
and
figure
that's
it out.
why the people who support you, you have to communicate that to them, and you have to let them know like it's important that you don't stress me out that day
Right.
Yeah.
because I have anxiety. You know this. I'm letting you know. So I need it to be as peaceful as possible because if I'm gonna get through this, I need it to be this way.
Yeah.
So I always tell people the birth plan, you're able to communicate that with your loved ones because you can hand it out like, Mom, this is a birth plan. I don't care what you say.
Right, because when you're in the middle of screaming and hollering,
I'm
right.
really
Think
telling my
about
mother,
it.
keep your comments to yourself.
Right.
During the pushing
put it in the
time.
birth plan.
Like, man.
That's something to consider.
And
Put it
yeah,
in birth
people
plan.
think it's rude. I know moms get offended and aunties and cousins and sisters, but it's not your birth.
Yeah.
Like it's hard for people to hear that, but it's not your birth.
Yeah.
I know you want me to do what you did
Right.
and do
It's
it
not
the
your
old school
pregnancy.
way.
It's like your pregnancy, and people gotta realize this is risky business.
Yeah.
Risky.
I can say my mom, she was very supportive. I will say that. Like if, something happened, I vomited or whatever the case is, she was right there to pick it up. When she was trying to get me in my gown, her and the nurse was sitting there talking to me, and I was like, I just need y'all to shut up.
Joe, have you
But
ever
she
been
was
in a
just
room?
like, I know, I just got to
You
get
want to be in a room?
in the gown.
I don't think so.
It's an experience.
I don't think I
It
want to
is.
ever be in a room.
Why
I think
not?
just if it happens to me, then that's the room I will be in.
I'm with you, sis.
when it finally happens to me, or if it does.
I'm with you.
Oh, that's the room.
I've never-
you give
Yeah.
birth.
I'm with you, sis.
I've never
Other
been in
than
a
that,
room, but
I'm
I did
good.
watch Daya's birth, which was
Right,
cool.
I
I had
was-
already had a child by that point, so it didn't
Which
bother
was
me.
cool. I
But,
videotaped it.
but I did watch
be into
it,
that
and
shit.
even when I was pregnant, I watched them junks. I didn't
Hell
watch a
no.
lot, but I watched
Watch
a
that.
I was
couple.
terrified. I don't even want to see that shit. I didn't even want to do it.
But
I
I
just
haven't-
wanted-
to
I
answer
just-
her question. I'm sorry.
Information.
I haven't seen anything with doctors. Actually, Yale, the ones I have been to at Yale, they like their labor and delivery unit is like so different. Like they it's really baby friendly now. They got
Yeah.
the tubs. They got everything.
Take your.
Oh.
I
Yeah, cool. Me and I said it probably.
forgot we was doing
I
that.
was wondering, like, have we been saying it?
I totally forgot.
It's very B word friendly now. But yeah, they were great. The nurses I experienced and the doctors I experienced, because it's all like situational who the person is.
Of course.
Because some of these physicians come in with that I don't care,
did
they're
this
not
1,000
compassionate,
times.
they
Yeah, right.
don't relate.
Right.
So I guess it depends on the people you have, because some of the doulas that I trained with, they had bad experiences, like really bad experiences that we had sit and cried about in our doula sessions, because like they're like, this
Not
is still trauma
respectful.
for me. I'm
Yeah.
nervous to have another baby because this is how it went that time.
Right.
So I guess it just depends on the hospital, the physician. So, but yeah, I haven't seen it yet. I don't want to see it because I don't know how I'm gonna be.
Watch your labor.
Oh yeah, you want to?
Joe needs
I
that
don't know why
experience.
Danny has been pushing it, because the other day she was like, "You gonna let Joe be in the room?"
Trust.
Why not?
I'm
Scare you.
I'm sick of Danielle.
Because you like the baby daddy.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
previous, I heard you say about the moms. So to you guys that are mothers and first time mothers, what advice that your mom gave you that you take with raising your child now, that you've taken to raise your child now? So you two or you three, like, what have you seen your parents do that you're taking in to raise your child? And what advice has your mom give you, Rebecca, that I'm like, you know what? I think I might.
I got to think.
I'm gonna go first because it's gonna be short because this has been 81 years.
For
It's
real.
been 81 years. I do not remember anything in particular. I know that I do, however, just follow by example. Like the things that I've seen or things that my mom has done for me, and things that I don't like that my mom did. That's just basically how I've been doing it. I can't remember anything in particular that was said.
The example definitely, like how she raised us. Like, we aren't materialistic.
Okay.
We're all about experiences.
Right.
And my family and my mother and my father has always been very adamant on family and like being together and making sure you're a unit. So like even with the pregnancy, like it's all our pregnancy, me, my mother, all of us, because my brother, he do truck driving, so he'd be up in the middle of the night, we'd be talking or whatever. So family, not being materialistic and experiences. She be planning shit like how I be planning stuff. So like just making sure. I already got the baby's first birthday planned out, but that's extra. It's not extra. But
heavy.
just, and even my sister, like the way she's organized. Before I used to be like, yo, you're mad organized. Like you're doing way too much. Like why do you have all these calendars in the house for everybody to go by? But then
what I aspire
like when
to
I
be
got
like.
pregnant, I'm like, oh, okay, boom, here goes the
Necessary.
schedule.
Understand
This is gonna
it.
be daddy time. This is gonna be mommy time. This is the orange means that's when the baby's getting dropped off. Purple means Jane's daycare, like I'm starting to do
I like that.
everything that Nell does.
Can Nell help me out?
I'm pretty sure.
But life always throws a monkey wrench.
You're right.
Nevertheless.
It does, but when you organize, it don't be throwing you off your game too much.
Right, exactly. And people, so like even with this, like, oh, you doing too much, like, or you planning too much, da da da. I'd rather have a plan that gets altered than to go
no
into
plan
something
at all.
that's completely left field.
Right.
And if it's something I can do in advance,
Just
why
like
not
your
do it?
birth.
I'm not doing shit. Like,
Yeah.
COVID got me sitting in the house for a minute. So, and not listening to unsolicited advice. Like,
Speak on it.
I'm like, listen, y'all don't tell me first of all, you can't tell me what to do anyway, because that was prior. But then it's just like, I don't get why our culture just feels like if you post something, it's just like, oh yeah, well, you need to do, like, you know what I'm saying? We just automatically just, like.
I think that's all across the board.
Yeah.
Let
Because
me
you'll hear mamas of
experience
all
it myself.
races say that
Right,
it's just
yeah.
a thing. People feel like, I think people get excited
Yeah.
for one, and they want to like give advice, but then
Yeah.
people often forget like it is still my body, it's
Yeah.
still my baby, and it's still what I want.
And your
ultimately.
experience is not the same as mine. Not,
Right, and
yeah,
everybody's
go-
experience
Yeah,
is
go
different.
buy this. Oh, get your dress from so-and-so. No, they don't have. I realize they don't have plus size maternity.
Wow.
They have a lot of plus size clothes because you know it's a thing now, but they don't have a lot of plus size maternity. I realize that.
Not even Target.
I did not buy
I'm not
maternity
buying no-
clothes.
Me either.
Yeah, but
I
I
had
said that,
one
so-
maternity shirt, and that's because somebody brought it for me.
I
Everything
was like
I just
cute
wore a
stuff.
size up. I just wore a size up.
Right.
Where size
that's-
up?
I wear
was
the,
me.
honestly, I
did the
kind of
rubber
wear the
band
same size
and the
pants.
jeans.
Yeah.
If I didn't wear leggings, I did the rubber band and jeans. I wore like big sweaters, and then when I got real big, I just wore his stuff.
Like I legit was all belly,
Yeah,
straight belly.
I'm still
Yeah.
wearing my regular clothes. It's regular clothes.
That's
I was like,
same
oh, I
with
can't
me.
wear that because my stomach look crazy.
But now it's
I have a
like,
reason for my
ew.
stomach to look crazy, so I'm gonna look that. So, lit.
It all makes sense.
It
now.
all makes sense.
I can't remember any advice as far as like labor or anything. I can't remember, but my parents just gave me like space to just be me. They didn't
Oh, nice.
really try to make
Say do this. One
yeah
thing
make
or
me
do
go
this
in
one.
any type of direction. And my dad's still to this day very affirming, so I try to put that on my daughter.
Right.
But
Assertiveness. You need it. Need it for these kids.
that's all I can think of at the moment.
Yeah.
That's good.
I think for me, my mother's advice really big time is like having that spiritual base
Absolutely.
for my kids. Like
Absolutely.
when Alex was born, the next day she came to visit me in the hospital. She literally took him, sat down, and she read the Bible to him.
And
And
look at him now.
and Alex,
Right.
Drums in church.
Alex mad comical because like Alex would be like, "Praise the Lord, thank you Jesus" and stuff, and like I'd be looking at her and I'm like, "I'm sure that makes you happy."
So you get a kick out of it.
I'm like the Medea to him, and he's like that child that's always going to be speaking something spiritual to
I
me,
know
and I'm
that's
like,
right.
"Stop it, just
I'm
stop
the parent. I'm the parent.
right?" But that's probably the biggest advice. Or
Yeah.
and then also always being prepared, like have my stuff together, because I used to be horrible for just leaving the house, not really packing certain things, and then like Alex would have an accident, and then I'd be like, "Oh, well, I didn't think I was going to be gone from the
that's
house
not
that
me.
long," and she'd be like, "No, you always be prepared
Right.
and blah," and I'm like, "All right, Joyce, thanks."
Yeah, I am super prepared. Even to this day, like especially like when we say we go on vacation
Right.
and I gotta leave her with either my mom or his mom or him, and it gotta be like I'm very like logistical.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to make it as smooth as possible for
a lot of them.
everybody.
So that
Right,
you can watch
because you
her again.
exactly.
I'm trying to make it as smooth
Exactly.
as possible. Like if my mother calls, like, "Oh, I want to take her to the beach," I could tell you where every single thing is. Her bag for the beach, her beach shoes, everything. I'm like organized like that. Because I don't know, when it comes to my child, I'm like, I just want to make it easier for everybody.
Right, and you wanna, and I get it because you wanna. Nobody's gonna take care of your child the way that you do.
Amen.
So you always want to make it as close to what you're gonna do as possible.
But
No,
you know
yeah.
what? You really got to tell people, because, like, you know, you may have a routine for your child, and then when they go with other people in the family, and then you're like, "Oh, make sure you do this," and "Oh, no, like I can't do that.
Oh,
You
no,
do
no,
that on
ma'am.
your time," and I'm like, "No,
No, ma'am.
you need to do this
Right.
for him."
Right.
Like I had to do
Bad
that. I had to.
Yeah, she just had another face of
No, because recently that happened with Alex. Like he went with a family member that he don't usually go with like that, and he takes medication.
Oh,
because
yes.
Alex has ADHD.
Mm-hmm.
Homie be on fire, right? But it's like for someone to sit there and say, "I'm not gonna give him that." Give him that on your time. It's like, first of all, I have a problem with that because this is something that I give him, and for you to throw him off track, and I demanded that to her. I said, "No, you need to give that to him."
Yeah, see,
So
I was going
stuff like that don't sit well.
No,
with me.
I was gonna say,
don't try to redirect.
right, that's crazy. I was gonna say, like, I learned to be. I mean, it's different now, obviously, because he's so much older. But even as he was getting older, I learned to be flexible to an extent when he is with other people, because I do have to take into account that he is with, like, if he's with my mom or something, or he's with his aunt or something, I do have to take into account like what may be going on over there. But that right there, no. So it's just certain stuff. It's just certain stuff that's like that's not. You can't tell me that you're not gonna give my kid no medicine.
Yeah.
But
that he needs. That he needs. Like, what?
Yeah, why would you want to hurt the child in that way?
Exactly.
Like,
Because what's your reason for not giving it? It's a second. He's going to take that pill and
because they probably have their own thought, like with vaccines. They probably got their own thought process, which is fine, but this is my child. It's one thing to say,
that's not right.
I'm not listening to you say he got to go to bed at 10:30 because that's what happened to me. And then it's another thing to say, I'm not gonna give him no medicine, give him your own time.
And then he's gonna be off the wall. You can be like, he is
like
bad.
that's crazy.
You can talk about him after.
I think it's a lot of views, especially when you're dealing with more of those old school adults and stuff like that, where it's like, back then when they used to diagnose certain kids with certain things, they didn't medicate them. They just, kept them busy or whatever the case is. But it's like, if it's something that is going to benefit the child,
that's all that matters.
The parent. To kind of help the situation, because it's not like he needs to stay on it forever, because they grow out of that stuff, but it's like don't throw him off, because if you throw him off a day, it's like
now you gotta get back on, get things back together. Exactly.
Might as well
him too, honestly.
That's even like with his eczema. When I used to send him with his dad, I used to get so aggravated when Alex used to come back looking like flour, and I'm like, excuse me, looking like
that's the one thing that I didn't, because he got eczema from that side.
I'm like, I take pride in this boy, okay? You're not gonna have him looking like this.
That's hilarious, because AJ, I'm like, why your legs look like that? But thankfully, he got it from their side, so they already doing it for themselves. Because I can't stand it, because he won't do it.
That boy
he won't do it. Like even to this day, I'm like, AJ, put lotion on. I'm gonna do it. That's now. Alex. I'm like, you have to stay moisturized. It's itchy.
Tell him they don't like no
because you dry.
Tell him girls don't like ashy boys.
I said, oh, girls don't like that. You gotta put. Did you put deodorant on?
So I have
nobody gonna talk to you if they musty.
So my next question is your village as supportive now as they were before when they wanted you guys to have kids? Because you know how you have those people, like I want you to have a kid. I'm like, are you going to watch this kid?
Yeah.
So is your village as supportive now as they were previous?
Well, I was a teen mom, so it wasn't no have a kid going on at all.
Okay.
However, the village has always been there from before. Like I was spoiled and I was just pregnant. Like before his grandfather died, like his aunts and uncles on that side, they probably hated me because his father spoiled me. So the village has always been consistent, but I didn't have any of that. You need to have a baby going on. Because I was 16 when I got pregnant. So
what was their reaction like?
So, and I was going to say that because I looked at a post the other day about this girl. She had posted about how she was a teen parent and how she had got like, there's a lot of shame and stuff and people saying like a lot of negative stuff and like how she had to deal with that and come out of that, and thank God that she was able to still be a good parent for her child. And I'm like, I see people talk about it all the time. I had a very different experience from that. I mean, I grew up in church and I'm pretty sure there was like a lot of stuff being said about me, but not to me. But where it mattered, like my family and his family, of course my mother was disappointed, but it was never like, you got to get out the house. Okay. It was just, I just always had that support. Like,
Did he go to the same church?
No. Oh. Different churches. Like my immediate like family and friends like that. No, I didn't have like any of that going on. Like I had a very supportive network, thankfully.
Right.
Because one of the doulas from my training program, her focus is teen pregnancy. So she wants to be a doula specifically for teen moms.
That's nice.
I will say it's absolutely necessary.
You need it. Yeah,
That's really good.
That was that was one of our classes that we just talked about teen pregnancy, young moms. And like they need the support more than anybody because like they're getting the grunt of everything. They're getting the negativity. They give it, your life is over, so I don't know what you about to do now. And so she's definitely partnering up with I think forget the organization Bridgeport, but she wants to be there and try to have to give her services for free to these young.
That's what's up. Awesome. I like that you said that because the person whose status I'm talking about, she's actually the doula that I know, and she was
what's her name?
She live in DC now, but she's from here.
No, we might have to.
You might know her. She's from here, I believe. So you might know her. I'll tell you. We'll talk after. But yeah, she is the person that wrote the status, and she's also a doula, and that's what she was saying. Like you really needed that support. Then
they get overlooked.
You get overlooked.
They need support, like more than anyone. Like
there was even an older woman on the comments. I was like, you know what? We're so I'm apologizing for the adults in your life that didn't give you that support that you needed. Because I get I'm not supposed to be having a child, but at the end of the day, I am.
Right.
And you know this is a crazy process.
And gifts regardless. I always tell people that it happened, whatever. Your life is amazing. You excelled. It doesn't matter. Right. Just be the village. Help them out. You could curse however you want when you find out, but also
but still be
go reflect. Right. Be like my daughter.
Don't hold on to that.
Right, because you being upset and pissed off like that. I mean, I'm pretty sure when you in that moment, you like, why you mad? But I get it. Like my mother being disappointed, my father being disappointed, I totally get that. I was disappointed in myself, but at the end of the day, my mom was still right there. We actually even, I feel like, got closer because I was pregnant. Yeah,
I was 25, but there wasn't nobody telling me I had no baby.
Right?
Nobody was telling me I have a baby.
But you know the whole thing,
it is a thing. It's definitely a thing.
And I hate that. When people ask,
please, when you get older, people still
because they were saying it with you.
Yeah,
it's definitely a thing where people are saying it.
Yeah, like you about to be 30, or even like with yourself, like, oh, I'm about to be 30. I ain't think I was having no baby right now. Like,
no, but she did call it.
Even though you were saying you wanted to get pregnant in 2020, but whatever.
No, I didn't say 2020.
You said after September in 2020.
I said because I went back to our episodes because I'm like, damn, did I really speak this shit into existence?
It may not have been.
I said that
it wasn't on the episode.
A kid by 32,
you
so I can be 50 years old when I turn 18.
You said that too, but you absolutely.
Then I said after September of 2020, after my Bali trip, is fair game. Okay. I didn't say have a baby.
So it's still 2020. It's not September.
No. Well, because I got pregnant in February.
That wasn't it. You wasn't going to Bali anyway.
I was specific with my request. God was playing.
But God was like,
ain't nobody happening this year anyway.
They say make your request known. Be specific, and I was specific with September of 2020.
That's why they also said God laughed at your plans.
Right? Not your will, my will be done.
You said you want to have a baby after September. Right. Okay, God said.
I said after
you
September,
having a baby after
if
September.
I have a child, is fair game.
There you go.
He said I definitely listened to the episodes. I'm like, damn,
he said you ain't going to Bali no way. I'm about to send COVID.
Right.
That's why you gotta be. That's why you gotta be specific in your prayer because you gotta say, I want to get pregnant.
I said after September 2020.
Now I have a baby after.
Like
that's
true.
You having a baby after September?
That's true.
That's too funny.
As far as village, I've seen so many people that have gotten pregnant, and there used to be so many people like, oh my God, I'm gonna take the baby and and then when the baby's there, it's usually the solids that end up being there.
Yeah, like your immediate.
So I appreciate the village or people that say that they're going to be there, but at the end of the day,
you know what it is.
Very adamant on right.
And people have to be careful with their language when you keep saying, when you're gonna have a baby, you don't know if they're having struggles having a baby.
Yes.
So I always tell people, don't ask nobody when they having no baby. Right. They could have lost 3 babies by now.
For all you know.
They could be infertility, clinics like, oh my God, we can't have no baby. What you could do for us? So I always tell people, you gotta be careful. Don't ask nobody that. When they have a baby, congratulate them.
Right. Period.
That's why when they announce the pregnancy, be happy to
that's why unless you immediate, you won't hear me say that because you just never know.
I have a friend, there's 8 of them or 10 of them siblings. All the siblings has kids. She's probably the only one that is married. She's the only one that's married.
Wow.
And the only one that doesn't have kids. Okay. And she is and she does have troubles, and people are like
all your other siblings got a kid.
One of you two, and silently she's struggling
They be like, don't wait too long.
And you know how hurtful that is?
You just said baby.
Oh, all of them.
Give me both of them.
Dang, you did too.
That's a big one.
I haven't said it. Did I haven't said it?
We all said it, but nobody peeping it. That's
I don't think,
Right,
I, don't
that's
think
the
I
point.
said it. I don't think I said it.
We'll run it back.
But I'm also not paying attention because I still ain't got no
Like,
pins.
send them pins in.
I need to pay attention because I ain't got no pins.
But yeah, so
My village was strong then. I mean, only person I feel like was disappointing was my grandmother because I'm the golden child.
Mm-hmm.
But even then, like, she loved Kendall.
Yeah,
So,
of course.
And
They
it be
still-
like
yeah,
that.
they always
It's still like the initial, like,
Then right, you're gonna always get the initial because obviously, you know, our family, they always want the best for us. They want us
Right.
to be
married,
settle
first
down. They want us
and
to
all
be
that
married, and I
stuff.
get that. I get
Yeah.
it.
But
I
life
get it.
happens.
It's
Yeah.
2020.
Life happens.
Right.
Like I would have
Henny-
never.
Henny
I never. I
happens.
just.
Oh, Henny
knew.
happens.
I just
The
knew I was
Henny
gonna
Henny
be
hit the
a
system,
virgin
ain't
till
no
marriage.
telling.
No
I
tequila.
just knew.
Jesus.
See, that's why I don't mess with tequila.
Don't
Yeah.
put the beef in
Tequila.
the don't put the beef in the taco. Get the whole
Oh my goodness. I'm a
Save her, Lord, save her.
Right before we leave, what are some myths that you heard that are legit not true as far as pregnancy? I know the whole eating for two was definitely something that people always say, like, oh, you're not eating enough. Eat, da-da-da-da.
That's
My
a
doctor
myth,
was like,
yeah.
no, you only need 300
Yes,
to 500
Like, you just
extra
need
calories.
to eat healthy. Period.
Right,
You just need
yeah.
to make sure you're getting nutrition.
for two, but I just always assumed that I would be hungrier
Yeah.
when I was pregnant, and that
You
wasn't
weren't?
the
Me
case.
either. I was the
either.
same. Like I didn't have no weird cravings.
Yeah,
I
the craving
didn't-
thing too.
I mean, I did have stuff like before I actually knew I was pregnant, and I was like, you know how
Acknowledged
you
it?
had-
Jeez.
No, before I actually knew I was pregnant. I was
Mad
working at Cold Stone,
cheese.
and Target's right there. And I used to go. I love cheese, but I used to go buy like the individual cheese that you could
String
just
cheese.
eat.
Oh, the string cheese.
String cheese, like the cheese
just
that's already
any.
cut already.
Slices.
Right,
Yeah.
not like the Kraft that you put like on a sandwich,
Like pepperoni cheese and
like
crackers.
pepperoni cheese and crackers.
Oh,
But you know
okay.
how they make the ones that's already
bar?
sliced up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I used to buy those and literally eat them
Mhm.
nonstop. And I remember Nell picked us up from work one time and was like, "You pregnant?" And I was like, "No, I'm not eating mad cheese.
Like she wouldn't even string the cheese. She would just eat.
I just
the,
eating
yeah.
mad cheese."
Dick.
But other than that, I
that's
didn't
so
have. I ate
funny.
my usual. Like I didn't do anything weird.
I went through stages when I was pregnant with Alex. Like first stage, I wanted steak and hot wings. Then after
That's a good
that,
meal.
it was a whole bunch of Pepsi. I wanted Pepsi.
I ate hot wings a
I
lot.
would stop by Dunkin' Donuts every day, get me a chocolate frosted donut.
Girl.
Then it was like sugar. Like I craved a lot of sugar. I remember I used to when I worked at Kohl's, I was pregnant with him, and I bust in the supervisor's office. I was like, I need candy. Where is it? Where is it? But I'm like, I call Alex my sugar baby because he like a lot of sugar.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you notice anything different between this pregnancy and last pregnancy?
Oh yeah, very much. I was very sick this pregnancy. Alex,
Very
when
sick.
I was pregnant with Alex, it was smooth sailing.
Same.
I
They
got
would say that.
wasn't
From
no
beginning to end.
right. No swelling, no nausea or anything like that. Like it was really smooth. So I think the only thing that I had an issue with, I would get occasional nosebleeds,
Oh.
which scared me because I never had a nosebleed in my life.
I got my first one after I had AJ in the hospital.
really.
Yeah, I don't even know why. I just got my
Changed
first
a
one
lot.
out of
It's
nowhere.
really scary. So with this second pregnancy, I'm just like, oh yeah, this gonna be smooth sailing.
You already
I
know
bet.
Because that's what they always be telling you.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what they be
I was
saying.
Sick as a dog. I wouldn't eat anything. Like I think I told you back. Every time I would go on Instagram, and I always like looking at food and stuff.
yeah.
If I even saw a picture of food, I scroll up really quick because I'm like, oh my god. If anybody talked about food, I'm like, could you please be quiet? I don't want to hear it. Like
That's a myth
headaches
right there.
on 5,000. Like almost every day I wake up, I get headaches.
Oh wow.
That's a myth right there because I used to always hear people say, "Oh, your second one is always the easiest."
Yeah, right.
And it was
This
vice
baby
versa.
need to come on. I'm anxious. I'm already in labor.
And you got a
and
long
delivery.
way to
I'm
go,
ready.
sis. You got a long way.
Right, and they say
I
that
know,
the second baby you normally show faster.
I'm always in the mirror looking. I'm like, friend, is that you?
you coming through or not?
Yeah, maybe not.
Like a peer.
All these old wife tales.
yeah.
Even the one where they talk about, oh, when you get morning sickness, that means you having a girl. No.
Oh yeah, no.
She said no.
I didn't
If I
have
could
it
get
in
a
the morning. I
refund,
had it
I'd have
at night.
And right, it's not mornings. It's all day.
It's all day.
sickness.
When
It could be at any
whenever
time of
it
the
feels like it, sickness.
Right.
I would get off work, like at 11:30 and have to pull over on the highway and throw up.
Oh no, that's
I got it during the day and
bad.
in the evening. But honestly, I feel like for me, it was if I took my prenatals in the morning, I noticed that's when I would get nauseous. Because once I switched up and started taking them in the evening, and I will have like a yogurt or something, I was fine.
It was the first trimester, actually.
It was fine.
I know,
usually
because
gets better
wasn't
by the
yours
second, yeah.
your morning sickness wasn't the first trimester, right?
No, it was so weird because I didn't have like how most people realize they're pregnant because they like throwing up and stuff.
Right.
I didn't have it. It literally was just the cheese thing, and then I was going to the bathroom a lot, and my son's father was like, "You pregnant?" And I'm like, "No, we not. Shut up."
Better listen to that man.
Right.
He put it
But that was it. I didn't. It probably came in like maybe the second, but like I said, it was really only the time period that I would take my prenatals, and then I got sick when I would try to eat cheese again after the fact. Then that would make me nauseous. But other than that, I was straight.
Yeah, I have no sickness, only nauseous like in the beginning, but it was only nauseous because I didn't eat. Because I work night shifts, so I work 7 at night to 7 in the morning. I was hella tired like the first few weeks, so I would go home and go to sleep until it's time to go to work again. But no, heartburn. That's about it.
Yeah, I don't even think I dealt with
Shit's been
heartburn
kind of
a lot.
cool.
It's a blessing because everybody's body is different. You just never know what's gonna happen.
And I was so nervous because I just heard so many stories about mad stuff. But
that's the thing too. People like I know you hear stuff
stories.
and you get nervous, but you just gotta realize that your experience is gonna be your experience.
That's why I try not to tell Beck nothing. I don't even tell about labor.
Right.
yeah,
Like I'll give like advice or say stuff here and there, but I'm not like this is what's gonna happen. You better like because who knows?
Well, you know what was a myth? That I was going to have a body.
Girl.
Afterwards. That was a big myth. That was a big lie.
I got that too.
No, I just thought,
She's gonna curve out.
I was fill out.
I was told that too because I was skinty. Like when I got pregnant, I was 90 pounds. So I was told the same thing. Oh, you gonna get some hips and all this stuff. I got weight.
That was a
but it just all went to my stomach.
Right,
Just all in my stomach. That's it.
That's so.
And
funny.
I know we're about to end soon, but I just wanted to say before we end out that Black women are dying, and we do have to acknowledge that we're dying at greater rates than any other race. Actually, 3 times more than our white.
That actually is one of my scariest things, and it's making me want to change my OBGYN to a Black woman, even though I'm about to be 7 months.
Where do you go?
Like,
you can still
over there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You can still change.
I can
either
still
way.
change just because of that reason.
And I mentioned that I shared a post to our story recently that said Black newborn babies in the U.S. are more likely to survive childbirth if they are cared for by Black doctors.
Yep.
But 3 times more likely to die when looked after by white doctors. And then I was on some research recently, and I guess the NCHS, which is the National Center of Health Statistics, I believe, they just did a new data after 10 years.
Yeah.
Oh,
about the what do you call it?
Black maternal
mortality
rate. Yeah, they just did that in January.
After 10 years.
January of this year, after 10 years, they updated it. And it's like the maternal mortality rate in the U.S. for 2018 was 17.4 maternal deaths per 100,000 live births, which is higher than in 2007.
Yeah.
So the numbers seem more now, but it's because they're actually getting better
At
information.
collecting data.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that was.
but it's still a problem that's ongoing.
Right.
Especially seeing it because like the girl from Brooklyn that passed away.
The YouTuber?
That was upset.
Yeah, and then her too.
didn't see that.
Is so.
It's heavy.
But and this is where you always gotta have that support person that's gonna
Right.
speak up and advocate.
Right.
And
Just
then knowing how to
notice.
advocate for yourself too.
Right.
Because that's another thing. Your doula will notice when something's off too. Like we have to look for those cues.
Yeah.
So if we see like mom, we don't think something's right, or even with postpartum depression, because we don't, we forget about that. It's really after the birth, we got to really look after moms.
Right.
So like that's why I do a few visits after, but encourage family, like you have to watch moms postpartum because that's when they go through stuff like the most.
Right.
And you don't want them to reach a state, because postpartum depression isn't linear. It goes into stages. So when a mom eventually ends up killing herself or killing her child or doing something that's harmful, it's usually because she's in postpartum psychosis. So she reached it took her a while to get there. Yeah, so she needed attention way earlier.
Right.
So you need to be able to recognize those cues and not shame them for it, because it's not a bad thing. It's usually due to your hormone influx.
It's natural.
Right.
Yeah, so you just need to go see a specialist for that, or someone who specializes in it, like a therapist and your doctor, and they need to collab.
Yeah.
But
And
we
if
need
you-
to look for those things. I always tell dads, that's the important time. You need to look for those cues.
Right.
When moms don't want to be around the baby, when moms are like sleeping all day, and then because moms are gonna get rest, they need to sleep because they don't sleep. But
But
you
it's,
need to
it's
look
a
for
difference.
if it's all you'll see a difference in your partner if they're nagging at you too much. But you need to look out for those cues, because that's important too. That's another reason why women die too.
Right.
Not even just black men, but women across the board in pregnancy because of postpartum depression.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Go ahead, Joe.
Before we wrap up, you brought up postpartum, so I just wanted to say some things to look out for: anger, anxiety, guilt, hopelessness, loss of interest, crying, irritability, restlessness, fatigue, loss of appetite, weight gain or weight loss, loss of concentration or unwanted thoughts, depression, fear, insomnia, repeatedly going over thoughts. And I think it's important for people to realize too that postpartum doesn't just happen
Right
it can
after.
happen even if
Right.
it doesn't happen right after, and it can happen even if you wanted this child, even if you planned.
Yes.
You can still have this. You just never know when it's gonna come. So
Yes.
Yeah, it's a whole life change. Like your
Yeah.
body changes. Like you're if you were the center of attention, you're not anymore.
Right.
Like it's just
it's a lot of adjusting
Yeah.
that you're gonna do, and it's gonna be ongoing.
But what I was gonna say, like we said before, numerous like health episodes. Like if you are vocalizing your concerns with your doctor, and they're not like listening to you,
neglecting,
ask for a different doctor.
Neglecting
Just
you,
because it's a doctor don't mean that their word
that's
is
the
law
only
and you have
right.
to go
Exactly.
by it. Ask for a different doctor.
And I think
Yes.
that's because most people are medically illiterate, and they think they can't speak up to these people. These people ain't no
Listen,
law enforcers or
And-
whatever.
and at the end of the day,
Tell
it's your
them
life.
what you feel and what
Your
you
body.
think. And
Right.
if they can't comply, well, get me someone else.
Right.
Let me
Absolutely.
speak to
And they
somebody
have
else, 'cause
to.
I can't mess with you.
And because we are black women, and because we know that black people all don't get listened to when we deal with stuff, you got to have somebody that's going to advocate for you, and you got to be confident enough to advocate for yourself. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Stand up for yourself, women. Stand up for
Cheryl did
yourself.
say baby.
I did.
Yeah.
When did I say it?
When you say even if they wanted the baby.
Oh,
That's just like before
you want my clip?
I don't
sis?
care.
You want my pen?
Because I'm sure everybody knows that.
One of my family members had passed away, like, I think a couple of years ago. Like, I don't think it was a week yet until after she had the baby, but like she had high blood pressure and bad headaches, and like she ended up going brain dead, and she died. And like my cousin, he ended up having to get a lawsuit against the hospital.
Absolutely.
And then even my sister, like after she had my niece, this was years ago, she kept having like some issues, and she went to the doctor. We all went with her.
And they brush it off.
She passed out in the waiting room. Come to find out, they left the friggin' placenta up in there.
What?
Which I just don't understand. I just don't understand.
I don't understand
So it's
that
like
either.
I've had
But I was
two
telling her.
experience with family members, so it's like hearing now about more and more. I mean, these stories probably
They're
been going
so
on for so long, but
consistent,
it's
yeah.
like now that it's rising up more,
You hear it more.
it concerns me. Because heck, even when I call the doctor just for little things, I be feeling like they looking at my profile picture like, yeah,
Oh,
she black, so
right?
Yeah.
we just gonna
And
brush
some of
it
them
off.
are like that.
Right.
Some of them
Right.
are like that. These white doctors, they don't know our experience. They can't relate, so they just immediately turn their noses down, or oh, you ain't doing it right. And it is that for a lot of women. And that's why I said these doulas, we need them.
That's
We need black
wild.
doulas.
Yes,
first and
right.
foremost.
Absolutely.
Because
More black doulas, black doctors,
Period.
midwives,
All of it.
nurses.
All of it.
We need to see more faces that look like us in the
Yes.
healthcare.
Right.
period.
All of
period.
it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, this was a wonderful conversation. It was
It
very
was, right?
informative for myself, especially because I don't know what
First
I'm doing.
time
But you
up.
know,
You know
it's
what you're
lit.
doing.
Right, but it's lit.
It come naturally.
It'll
honestly.
come, right?
Let everyone know if where they can find you two ladies. Like if somebody's pregnant, they want to ask you questions, because I be talking to you all the time, and Taylor, you as well.
Oh yeah, so you guys could catch me on Facebook, Taylor Morrison. That's my name on there, and then Instagram is Nzinga0. But I am creating my doula page, so that should be out in the next few weeks, where I'll have like all my doula services. Everything.
Where are you gonna
on
call
there.
it?
Huh?
What are you gonna call
I'm
it?
not. I'm still. That's the thing. I don't want to put it out because I'm
hard.
like the name. I don't
Naming
know.
stuff is
It's
hard.
very hard. I just
It's so hard. I
Naming
hate
the
it.
baby. Oh my gosh! But
I ask my mother every day.
That
I'm like,
too.
you got an idea? Somebody got an idea? No one has anything. I'm just
Yeah.
like,
It'll
It's
come
hard.
to you.
It will
Yeah.
come to
Exactly,
you.
out of nowhere.
And then write it down so you don't forget it.
Right.
Jess.
Well, I'm usually on Instagram, so y'all could catch me at Jess Nicole 1221_. If y'all have any questions, anything like that, just hit me up.
It's litty.
That was a really great conversation.
It was.
Yes, this is fun.
This is fun. Are you not nervous no more?
No more.
Well, then our job here is done.
Right.
Thanks to the doula, she was nice and
I know.
Her voice is just very.
I'm telling you, because
soothing.
I was really sitting over here like, yes.
Yeah, that's something we had to learn because like I said, I went to that program. A different person came out, a different person. So it was really transformative for all the doulas.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, we thank you guys for listening. Make sure you rate, subscribe, and we love you. Until next time.
Bye, guys.